Hey, look, it's the fraud father, Tim.
Hey, Donald.
Who are you with today?
This is my business partner, Ilhan Omar, and her brother, her husband.
Okay, weird.
By the way, I haven't seen any Somalis saying R.I.P. Renee Good. Imagine going out there and risking your life for people who don't even care about
Okay,
you.
weird.
Renee
By the
Good
way,
was
I
a
haven't
U.S.
seen any
citizen
Somalis
killed
saying
by an
RIP.
ICE agent. Her death deserves empathy and accountability, regardless of who speaks up or stays silent. We are just doing a peaceful protest.
Oh, peaceful, you say? I see in Minneapolis protesters are showing up with their babies as shields from law enforcement. I guess they don't care about life outside the womb either.
Sir,
as shields
those are
from
domestic terrorists, not protesters.
You know, I really thought Minnesota would be burned to the ground by now, but then I remembered that Elon Musk defunded U.S. aid and the Democrats are broke. There is not as much money for paid domestic terrorists.
We don't want ICE in our city. They wear a mask and they terrorize the people.
The only reason we cover our faces because of rhetoric that you're putting out there. You've endangered our lives.
Also, you don't have a problem with Antifa or BLM wearing a mask and terrorizing the people of the city, burning buildings down, overturning cars. You don't have a problem with that?
Let's go, Tim. We're late for the party at the daycare.
Hey, look, it's the fraud.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the following program. I am your host, Joe Neerman, a.k.a. Good Lawgic. I hope you had a fantastic day, phenomenal day, exceptional day. Not much happened here. All right. That's really all I got for you. That's really all I got for you. I've actually been pretty busy this week. I don't know why. I have Lady Logic. My producer's out of town. That's why. My producer's out of town. So I just feel as if there's just more on my plate, and when I have to take more on my plate, it's just not a good thing at all. And someone's hoping I'm going to cover Walz address tonight. Of course, I'm covering the Walz address. I'm going to watch it live with you. You know what we got going on tonight? Well, first we have the full Clinton deposition. I'm going to break it down for you moment by moment, highlight by highlight, and all the ramifications that will flow from the drama with the full Clinton deposition today. Also, I have we have Trump updates with Iran and Tim Walz potentially being impeached. All in all, fun day all around. And how much more fun? Oh, you couldn't have more fun if you had like a one-horse open sleigh than bringing Cyn on board here.
Hi.
Now, hi. Hi. How are you?
I'm trying to work on my intro.
He's very nervous tonight. Right. He's very nervous. You can tell. He's like, hi.
I'm super nervous. I'm sitting here.
He's like Ryan from The Office meeting new clients. Hi. So yeah, how have you been, brother?
I'm good, man. I couldn't complain if I wanted to. It's just my day's been great. Everything's been great so far.
I've been trying to put a goal up in case anyone.
Oh man, I'm terrible with goals. You asked me this like a couple.
No, I wasn't going to ask you what to put. I already decided what to put, but
yeah,
it's just not taken. There's sometimes that YouTube just.
Oh, dude, it's so terrible. I just do it on my phone.
Error. I'm just getting an error occurring.
Yeah, I do it. That's why I do it on my phone. I thought it okay. So because I'll do funny little meme goals, and I thought, well, maybe it's the language I'm using, and then so I would try something completely above board, no problems whatsoever, and it'll do the same thing. How's it going, Chad? Good to see y'all.
I'm trying to see this full phone thing, whether that actually works. Because
yeah,
I want to see if I can actually set it up for my phone. Because
yeah, I do it every stream.
I don't know. I can't even get my phone to be playing this stream. I got a big circle of death. You're right. Hey, look at that. I could do it from my phone.
Mm-hmm. Told you, dude.
And we could do $10 or higher. And we even hear an echo.
Co-leader. That's right. Yeah, not co-host. Co-leader of the group that we hang out with matching jumpsuits and Kool-Aid.
Okay.
What's the deal with your lighting? What's going on with or do you just have jaundice?
Shut up.
It's not a cult type of cult. Exactly, chat. Exactly. So
Yes. So I finally got the goal up. Okay. So now I can happily announce to you all that if we get our regular goal, which is 15 super chats in the next 2 hours of $10 or more, 15, that could be rants, it could be anything else. And sometimes when people are generous and give me more than $10, I'll try to attribute more, especially if it seems like we're close to our goal, because I'm not going to shortchange any. Yeah. I'm just trying to incentivize somewhat, and YouTube doesn't allow me to particularize in a way that I would like to. Like, they don't give me like a number. You can't just say, "Oh, if I make X dollars, in that case, I'll go further." So they don't let me do that with the goals. They're not sufficiently flexible. So I try to be accommodating, especially when people drop a larger super chat or two. So there you go. And then I never know what to do. So if people drop. When people drop like a lot of gifts, like when people drop a lot,
you take the dollar amount and you count it, man. Hey, don't use your heritage as an excuse, okay? Let's not do that. I see you. I know people that do that, and it feels so grifty to me.
I'm not in the mood for this tonight. I'm not.
I'm just giving you sound advice.
I'm not in the mood for this tonight. I'm just not in the freaking mood for this tonight.
You know what? I'll just keep my mouth shut for the next 2 hours. All right, that's what I'll do.
All right. You just sit there looking pretty.
I'll do my best.
Oh my god,
very hard.
Oh my god. Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna get to that. I'll get to the gift that just came in shortly. I actually really want to get in and some coverage here, because I'm sort of feeling like there's one story I really just wanted to jump off on. I really want to jump off on, and that is we're just going to watch the full Clinton deposition.
Ooh, all right.
Well, you sound very excited about that.
Yeah, I'm trying to do the task that you had asked me to do in the background, and I was about to ask have you watched that at all, or are we just going in sort of blind?
Oh, I've watched it.
I figured you have. So you want to give me a dash of TLDR, how good it is, how fun it is?
It's a lot of fun.
Okay.
Chairman James Comer, of the Oversight Committee, subpoenaed Bill and Hillary Clinton to show up today.
It's so funny. It's too funny. It's just the meme in and of itself is too funny already. So
and we're gonna watch the full deposition as it unfolded.
All right. I'm really excited about this.
On the record. Good morning. This is a deposition of former Secretary Hillary R.
No! Stop. You're trolling me, right?
No, this is what happened. Bill and Hillary Clinton were scheduled to have their deposition today, and they said, "We're not coming."
She's so thin, I can't even see her.
What you do in that scenario is you need to make a record.
Yeah.
So it's sort of considered having a deposition. So, and I've done this. I've been in this scenario here where you go on the record and just basically talking to the court reporter. You're talking to a chair, which is being taken down by a court reporter. So I've done what we're about to see here. I've done this before. And so I could relate. I've had depositions, someone doesn't show, and you're like, all right, so we're going on the record here saying that we scheduled this deposition to occur on January 14th at 2026 at 10 a.m. It's now 10:05, and they're not here. And
what's the difference between talking to a chair and talking to Hillary Clinton, though? Like
the reason you do that is because then you have something to throw in front of some judge down the road that, hey, I was there. It's not that they showed and I wasn't there. I was there.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't there. They had been properly notified, and now I want to see them get punished by the court for that.
I mean, they can go to jail for this, right?
We're gonna get there in a moment. We're gonna go there. We're gonna go there.
Yeah. But mentally, I don't think there's much difference between speaking to Hillary Clinton face to face or speaking to a chair that is labeled Hillary Clinton. That's
Awesome.
just my honest opinion.
Awesome. It's only much less likely to get a headache. So,
Good morning. This is a deposition of former Secretary Hillary R. Clinton conducted by the House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform. On July 23, 2025, the Subcommittee on Federal Law Enforcement unanimously voted to approve a motion directing the committee to authorize and issue a subpoena to former Secretary Clinton for a deposition.
so they're trying to explain why it is that she is supposed to be here and put that on the record. It's only a minute and a half, as you see.
I'm going to note for the record that former Secretary Clinton is not present. The time is 10:05. We are going to mark items for the record. We will mark as Exhibit 1 a cover letter from Chairman Comer dated August 5th, 2025, enclosing the deposition subpoena and email confirmation from former Secretary Clinton's attorney, David Kendall, accepting the letter and the subpoena.
So you do this in order to say she definitely had notice. She was definitely served, properly served. Her attorneys were served. She knew she's supposed to be here. She legally was obligated to get here. And that's what that's the foundation he's laying down here.
We will mark as Exhibit 7 the deposition notice issued by the committee on December 12th, 2025.
So obviously there were 5 other exhibits that were included in there, which I guess whoever was posting this little clip didn't feel was necessary to incorporate them, just detracting.
We will mark as Exhibit 8 a letter dated December 15th, 2025 from Chairman Comer to Mr. Kendall, again urging his clients to appear and referencing that failure to appear will initiate the prospect of contempt proceedings.
So when you give them advance notice like this, you know what happens with that sin? You're basically cementing that they knew the repercussions, the potential repercussions. I put them on notice that, hey, if you really don't show up, there are potential repercussions that can come to you. They can't say, oh, we didn't realize that this was a serious deal. That there are that you can get really smacked for this.
Yeah.
The letter also encloses the updated deposition subpoena for today's date and email confirmation from Mr. Kendall accepting the letter and subpoena. I will note that the time is now 10:07 a.m. and former Secretary Clinton has still not appeared. Does the chairman wish to add anything to the record?
Yes. Good morning. We're here today for the deposition of former
And this is Comer talking now.
Secretary Hillary Clinton, and she did not appear. Just like her husband, Secretary Clinton is defying our duly authorized congressional subpoena. The Oversight Committee will also initiate contempt of Congress proceedings against the former Secretary of State for defying the law.
So you asked a question, which is a question a lot of people are asking. Can she go to jail for that?
Yeah.
That's a very good question. That's a very, very...
You got an answer? Have you got a good answer?
I don't just have an answer. I got other people giving you the answer. It's almost, I feel like I'm Harry Enton, like you're setting up my next post.
Man,
Thomas Massey says the Clintons think they're above the law, but they're not. They must comply with congressional subpoenas and appear before the House of Representatives or face arrest, conviction, and incarceration. I suspect they've observed Bondi's lack of resolve and have decided to test it, which it is. They are testing her. They're like, do you have the cojones?
Yeah.
Here's Tim Burchett weighing in on it. He's great, not just for the accent, but well.
Oh, he's fantastic.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, Tim Burchett just left a
Tim Burchett.
They subpoenaed Bill and Hillary Clinton on the Epstein situation. Of course, they no-showed. My buddy Steve Bannon and Peter Navarro didn't show up, and they got sent to prison.
Yep, Peter Navarro and Steve Bannon both failed to listen to heed congressional subpoenas, and they went to jail. I actually went down to D.C. to cover his trial. So
that's a double standard. And I'll tell you, the bigger double standard is when I mentioned that in the press conference. I wish we'd had it on film, but the press just put their cameras down immediately when I said that. I looked across the front row, 3 or 4 of them right like that. It's these cards are very much stacked against us and justice. And the Clintons, of course, they thumb their nose at justice because they're allowed to. They've been allowed to since They were in Arkansas, and they're going to continue to do it. And it's really a shame that that's the pinnacle of success for the Democrat Party, really, is that bunch. But that's what we're dealing with. And of course, they had a paid agitator out there yelling at us during this thing and during the press conference, and just pathetic, really. But that's where the left is right now. Thank y'all for sending me here.
So that's Tim Burchett, obviously not too pleased with the Clintons and frustrated because can they go to jail? Yes. Should they go to jail? Yes. Will they go to jail? It seems, admittedly, doubtful. One, you have to have an attorney general who has the cojones to press charges.
True.
Which I don't know that Pam Bondi has those cojones. There's no evidence that we've seen during the first year of the Trump administration to establish that she has anywhere near the cojones to challenge the Clintons. Secondly, your jurisdiction is going to be D.C.
What does that got to do with it, though? With it,
You can press charges so you're blue in the face, but if you can't get a jury to convict, if you can't get a jury to convict because it's the Clintons and
Right.
DC is so staunchly Democratic, I'll tell you what should happen. What should happen is Pam Bondi certainly should do it. Go forward with the process.
Yeah, 100%.
The Clintons will win.
Mm-hmm.
And you basically use this to say we need to collapse the DC Circuit Court.
Yeah, you can prove everything that you're trying to show.
Because it's so ridiculous. Well, no, when I say collapse the DC Circuit Court, I mean get rid of that circuit altogether.
Yeah, it shouldn't exist.
It should not exist.
It should never exist.
There's no such thing as a city that's its own circuit.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous.
agreed.
You have the city of New York. Okay, New York actually technically is broken into an Eastern District and then a Southern District, and both of those are technically in New York City. The Eastern District is in Brooklyn, or what we call Kings County here, and the Southern District is in downtown Manhattan.
Yeah,
and there's two other district courts, there's a northern and a western, which for upstate New York, because there's so much litigation that's going on here. However, you could just have the district of DC, I guess, if you figured, look, they have a ton of litigation. So what are you going to do? I mean, there's so much litigation coming out of DC because everything related to anything happening on Capitol Hill ends up in the DC district.
yeah.
I'm just saying there's no need for it. You could also have it be part of we should defederalize DC in general. But I'm saying is you can have it be part of the Virginia, Maryland. You could have it be part of that district and just say, look, we're done having certainly a circuit court. Use this as a basis because they don't only have their own. So what do we have those 4 courts here in New York, right?
Mm-hmm.
You also have like 3 other states that all together comprise the Second Circuit, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is you have multiple states making a circuit, and the Third Circuit is New Jersey, Pennsylvania. I think Delaware is also part of the Third Circuit. So most circuits are multiple states, and yet not only is there its own circuit court, district court level in Washington, D.C., they have their own circuit court. They have their own circuit, they have their own circuit also as far as on the appellate level. So you have the district court level, and then you have a circuit court level for DC, which is retarded. It doesn't make any sense at all.
No.
Now that wouldn't help in this scenario because really you're talking about the problem that you have a jury pool here, which is just so ridiculously tilted Democrat as to being insane. And I guess they could try to come up with some grounds to bring this in the Northern District of New York, seeing as how that's where the Clintons live. So you could try to use that as a basis. But I think that if they try, in other words, let's say Pam Bondi says, you know what, I'm going to go after the Clintons in upstate New York because they live in White Plains or thereabouts, which is
Yeah.
an hour from this city. So we're going to try to take this to the Northern District of New York. So, and there you'll get a jury which is mostly Republican. If they end up facing a jury in that place, they will go to jail. If they end up facing a jury on these charges based on what we've seen here, they will go to jail. But even if you bring the charges there, you have to expect that ultimately there's going to be a motion which is going to have a very good chance of succeeding, brought by Clinton's defense counsel, where they're going to be like, who the hell cares where we live? We were subpoenaed to go to D.C. You have to try us in D.C.
DC.
Yeah, that's what they're going to be screaming. So I don't know that I think sadly Tim Burchett is probably right. I think that even if Pam Bondi can drum up the cojones to go out there and try and go after them, maybe because it's Epstein, and there's so much talk about how nefarious Bill Clinton was with Epstein. Maybe you'll get a jury to convict.
But even if you don't get a jury to convict, though, there's an upside of using it for, just for running, just for politics in general to show the corruption.
Right. And also,
you can use it for political ads. You can use it for all kinds of things, and to just show, to like shed actual light on it and have actual evidence that, that they're corrupt, that all this is corrupt, that this district court shouldn't exist, that there's, everything that Trump has been saying about this cabal is true, which everybody on our side knows it's true. So you're trying to get those people that are in the middle, you know what I mean?
But that could backfire the same way it backfired with Trump. In other words, it could look like Trump is trying to go after his political enemies, those who are not paying close attention. Which those are the ones you're targeting. What they'll see is they'll see Trump's DOJ going after the Clintons.
Them saying that, though, is completely ridiculous because they're not his political enemies. Clinton can't run again. Hillary's not going to run again. So they're just now they're mouthpieces, right? They're a face. They're technically not his political enemies. And if you look at it that way, you are never going to be swayed by it to begin with. You're crazy. You see what I mean?
Yeah, but that will be the rhetoric that the left is going to throw out there.
Oh, of course. But they're going to do that anyway. They're already doing that. You might as well take a shot, throw a Hail Mary, and attempt to maybe there's one little snowflake's chance in hell that you get these people. And I say either not doing it is toothless and cowardly.
Perp welcome.
Yeah. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
They completely turned their nose up at the system and defied coming to DC for what? They weren't going to ever be tried anyway. Like, you're being deposed, right? I mean, all this same scenario is still the same scenario that we have, right? Even if they showed up or they didn't. Now they just thumbed their nose up at the United States government. They just said, "Nah, we're above you," to everyone.
Yeah, and theoretically, I mean,
did Trump do that when they called him in to turn himself in? No.
He turned himself in.
That's what I'm saying. He didn't do that. He didn't turn his nose up at the United States government. He said, "All right, fine."
He turned himself in.
Yeah.
Yeah. He surrendered to authorities. I mean, there was a whole thing. Everyone was all excited waiting for his mugshot in Georgia, right? You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Big
that was
thing
hilarious.
that picture of him in that mugshot became iconic, and everyone knew it would before it was even snapped. So here's Comer's explanation on this whole thing. We got powerful. Let me make this. I want to move it like a little bit. I recently adjusted my studio settings that I have us in front of the camera, just so it's like more of an even square, which means that in order to show full screen here, so I have to cut off like an inch from my thing. Powerful House Republican will hold Clinton's account after they skip the Epstein depositions. House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer moved to hold Secretary of State Hillary Clinton in contempt of Congress on Wednesday, one day after signaling he would do so when her husband, former President Bill Clinton, declined to appear for deposition. Oversight Republicans had scheduled mandatory interviews with the former first couple for January 13th and 14th. But the Clintons informed Comer that they would decline to answer any questions in person about their personal relationship with deceased pedophile Jeffrey Epstein. Quote, I think what's most disappointing to the Oversight Committee is the fact that we have, in good faith, negotiated with the Clintons' attorney for 5 months, Comer said Tuesday. Throughout the past 5 months, they've implied to us they are trying to make a date work. Quote, we're going to hold both Clintons in criminal contempt of Congress, the GOP chairman noted, adding that Democrats wanted the Clintons to come too. Even Democrats wanted it, though none appeared to be scheduled, appeared for the scheduled depositions with Bill or Hillary. Well, that's because they knew they weren't coming. These subpoenas issued to the Clintons are not suggestions. They are legally required to appear. They are not above the law, Comer posted on X, noting contempt proceedings in his committee will be held on January 21. The former president and ex-secretary of state in a Tuesday letter lashed out at Comer and Oversight Republicans for, quote, trying to punish those who you see as your enemies and protect those that you think those are your friends. Obviously, that's what they're going to say. While calling the subpoenas invalid and legally unenforceable, in written declarations attached to the letter, both said they could not recall interactions with Epstein when they were holding public office. And that's not the point. No one cares whether while you're holding public office. Yeah. And Bill Clinton said he had only limited contact with him shortly after by using his private jet for philanthropic and life-saving humanitarian efforts.
He was just there for the snorkeling.
He's so philanthropic.
Yeah. The Clinton Foundation, guys.
Yeah. He's Mr. Philanthropic.
Yeah. His philanthropy is known far and wide. That's why the Clinton Foundation in New York was for years protested by Haitian moms.
Yeah. This is I'm trying to dig up some pictures of some of his philanthropy. Just
easy. Make sure you have it on safe search.
Here's one. Here's a picture of some of his philanthropy right here. This guy went to Thailand, which is reputed on the Epstein jet. Why can't I get that bigger? There you go. There's him being all philanthropic, using the planes to get all philanthropic. Anyway, yeah. So he and not to mention the picture of him in a blue dress.
So beautiful. I mean, it's just they're just fun-loving guys like that, you know. Like I've got a picture of Joe in a blue dress hanging above my foyer as you walk into my house. And, you know, I sent him one of me in a red dress. It's, you know, it's what friends do.
The blue dress, for those of you who are too young to appreciate it, is a specific reference. Okay, so first and foremost,
you could just pull it up.
Yeah, no, the picture, the painting of Bill Clinton in a blue dress. That's not the right one. That's a better picture of him. Maybe that is the right one. Yeah, the picture of him in a blue dress. The reason I think that they specifically in a blue dress, even the style is designed to mirror. It's designed to mirror the dress that Monica Lewinsky was famous for wearing when she was going after Clinton. So this is a painting that was hanging in his in Epstein's house.
This is Brownstone in New York, right? Like right as you walked in, it was hanging right there. I think they said above the stairs or something.
Yeah,
which is very funny.
They got that paint. They got that portrait there. So the blue dress is specifically because of Monica Lewinsky's famous blue dress that I think had stains on it.
Yeah, it did.
Had
kept it in the freezer to.
I think it had DNA stains on it.
Yeah, that's what you call it now. DNA. That's what it was.
DNA stains, or do you call it blue light stains? Is that what you call it?
Yeah. I mean, if you're Nick Fuentes, you're gonna use a blue light to look at it.
So yeah, There's that's the he's using it for life-saving humanitarian efforts. There are 0 people's lives who were saved by the Clintons. Comer told reporters there are records that would imply that Epstein helped raise money for the Clinton Foundation. Members of the oversight panel voted in bipartisan fashion last year to subpoena the Clintons and half a dozen other former attorneys general, FBI directors, and other federal officials for questioning about the DOJ's investigative work on the Epstein case. The Clintons think they're above the law, but they're not. Thomas Massey posted on X. And they must comply or else they can go to jail. And I suspect they've observed Attorney General Pam Bondi's lack of resolve. We saw that. The DOJ has yet to release 99% of the so-called Epstein files. The officials so far released 12,000 documents comprising about 25,000 pages of investigative material. That's only 1%.
Huh.
Okay. I don't believe that. The tens of thousands of other disclosures have been made by the Epstein estate to the Oversight Committee, which the panel has released. And there you go. So, what do you think? Make your prediction now. What do you think is going to come out of this?
I think it's going to be exactly what I said. It's going to end up being some sort of just political ad. Hopefully they perp walk him. Pam Bondi's such a coward. So I don't see if they don't do it.
So you think nothing's happening?
No, I really don't. I've just got a bad feeling that it's just not gonna happen. They're gonna keep, using whatever excuses or reasons they have because they just don't want to. And for what reason, I couldn't tell you. Is there some quid pro quo? Is there some sort of other hidden agenda? Because to me, this is a slam dunk for at least some very hard-hitting political ads the next election cycle.
Yeah, I mean, I do think it can backfire on you. We saw how badly that backfired on the Democrats with Trump. So I'm not positive that it's a net win politically. I'm really not positive about that at all. But here's why it probably is a net win. Because if you don't try, MAGA is just basically gonna be like, F you. You're useless.
Yeah, no, you're gonna turn your own side, I think.
Yeah, you don't care about the Epstein thing. You don't care about transparency and integrity. You don't care about any of it.
You're going to turn a lot of people that are diehard for you into conscientious dissenters, and they're just not going to vote anymore. They're going to say, you know what? Everything I voted for didn't happen, and the main things, like the big things that I wanted, you didn't do. Even if you give them all the little things, right? You're going to have a bunch of those people that just get turned off and say, nope, I'm done. So.
Yeah. So for that alone, if not to gain votes, then to at least hold on to those and not piss off MAGA. That's a reason to do it. That's a reason to do it. And God bless you, Brian Oldenkamp, hitting us with 20 new members of the following. This guy's awesome. Bringing the folks on in here. Those of you who are new to the following, please be aware that the following, despite the name, which sounds a little culty, is not at all a cult type of cult. There's no tracksuits, there's no spaceships, there's no throwing virgins into volcanoes, there's no dancing around bonfires to the beat of a tom-tom while shucking off your clothing, there's no goat sacrifices or squirrel mutilations, there's mild farm work, there's no leaning into a camera going It's not at all a cult.
So you want me to send these masks back? Eyes wide shut masks that you told me to order yesterday, because they're here and the shipping's. You're gonna have to pay for the shipping back, but we'll get a
mild mask wear on occasion. But it's really just gathering like-minded individuals who seek greater personal growth through community unity, learning, and thinking.
Sure,
but not at all a cult. And these following 20 people brought in here, it's because it's about personal growth. It would be appropriate that you start your journey off in the following by expressing your gratitude to Brian for bringing you on to the greatest assembly of cultured minds, and that would include Terry 4, Mitch Marco 4427, Doc No 27, Perrin Besh 40, Boma known 3737. Torque 42425. Allison call 3211. Unhyphenated. Just me, Sunshine. Kelly Parker. Hot Pocket. I'm not reading numbers anymore. That's my new thing. Michael Mathis. Grotti. The Or King. Jimp. Pastafarius. Dog Foster Mom. Wally Law. Cindy Bowman. And John Parson. Come on now. Welcome to the following. God bless you. We got cookies. And thank you, Brian. You're awesome. What was he asking? It'll be saying it'll be a bigger issue, Epstein or Clinton. There's really no way to know. Is there more push to protect? I mean, he's following up with an explanation. Is there more push to protect the Clintons or expose Epstein crimes? Right now, people push for the Epstein files and not the Clintons. Maybe, but a DC jury going to be willing to throw them in jail over it?
No.
Sin, tell Joe Locals chat it's a real thing. It is
a real thing, Joe.
It's God bless J.H. Schwalbach. Drop it on in here. J.H. says Joe Akishali, which means my brother. Clinton Foundation, investigate, go for RICO. That will make them piss their pants. That's where the gold is. Here. Here. Indeed. It is a real thing, by the way. And yeah, RICO, that would make them piss the pants. It would. If she's a virgin shortly before the volcano, no. That's not the point. The point is that virgins get thrown into volcanoes because you're basically supposed. It's like a sacrifice. It's a human sacrifice of something untainted. Don't you understand the origin of virgin sacrifices? Do I need to walk you through the whole philosophy as to why a virgin sacrifice would be?
They could just read the pamphlet that they're going to get mailed when they become a member.
Just read the pamphlet. We explain it all. Seriously.
We explain everything about the non-cult.
Everyone thinks that they're like an expert or something. I don't know.
Seriously. It's just all you got to do is read the entry pamphlet. That's it. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna. By
Also,
the way,
I need all your hat sizes so I can send you these masks.
Yeah, well, that's important. That's important stuff. I'm updating my description early so I don't forget, and I'm putting in a reference to where you can find Sin if you are so inclined.
I would appreciate it. We're working our way to 1,000. We're at 624 after last week's stream, which I truly appreciate.
We gotta get them up there. We got to do it.
We're getting there. Yeah.
We got to do it. I also have a rant over here, in case you were wondering.
I was actually.
Yeah, Uzan says, Joe, how you do it is when you issue the warrants for arrest. You make sure to start with something like, based on precedent of the last 6 years, we have no choice but to issue these warrants. Yeah, will that work as far as politically? Maybe. I can see how that can, that can do it. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to urge you all to, while I'm here also, to please make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons, because, in fact, I'm actually going to pause and ask my audience. I never really asked them questions like I'm about to ask, but I brought this up with Sin before we started tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have an answer. And maybe my audience does know. I was talking to Sin about the fact that on Wednesdays, I feel as if I'm competing with like a Trump speech or something like that. Like I don't know why it is Wednesdays and Thursdays in general. It's been a very Tuesdays it starts to slow down, but towards the end of the week, I'm trying to figure out what happens on Wednesdays. I'm asking you, and I'm not even doing this as a joke. I'm actually meaning this very seriously. Is there someone out there I'm competing with who I'm not aware is even streaming on Wednesday nights? Because don't you guys wonder, like, where is everyone specifically on Wednesdays? Like, how is that even possible? Like right now, I have 400 people on YouTube. Normally, I should be having 600 or 700 right now. So I'm just trying to figure out what happens. Sin is trying to figure out what happens. We're cracking our heads against the wall here, saying like, what the heck happens? And I really want your feedback. Like what is the deal? What is the deal? What is? I'm competing with your mornings. All
Yeah.
right. No, I'm just wondering, is there someone out there? Is it?
Well,
I'm not. I wouldn't be upset. I'm just trying to figure out like what it is. Like it's almost like when you sort of see something that's anomalous, and I'm just like, why is that? And I don't think they're humping. I don't think that's it. I don't think it's Sean. I don't buy that. I don't buy Sean. I don't buy that, Sean. I just don't understand. It's not, and I'm not complaining. Look, I appreciate that anyone comes out to watch me. I appreciate that anyone gives me their time at all. I'm just trying to figure
thanks,
it out.
Kelly. Man, seriously, I think you've got to. This is what Sin suggested. He's like, I'm
Wednesday
serious.
is church.
Yeah.
And I was like, do you guys think that there's
Boom, look at another one.
100 people? You think there's
Thanks, Tyler.
100 people that you regularly watch me that are at church
Yes,
on Wednesdays?
I do. I truly do. The religious conversations we've had, the amount of Southerners that you have, and like I was telling you before, 99% of the Southern churches that I've gone to, no matter which denomination, do a Wednesday service, and then they do fellowship, and they'll have a meal and they'll hang out, and then, yeah, I think I think that's why they come in later. Also, it's the middle of the week too. People are, they still got to go to work tomorrow, so
Maybe it's an anomaly, which is just it's just downright mystery. It's a mystery to me that I really am trying to get to the bottom of. But yeah, everyone loves his laugh. Everyone loves it.
yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
One of the few positive traits this guy has. I would.
Really? Is that what it is? Okay, well then I'm just not gonna give you this link to what I found, what you asked me to do earlier. So I'll just leave that there, and I'll continue just looking at the chat and discussing things with them. Yeah, Hunter Carlos is right. Jim tells you is streaming right now. He's streaming over you. Bad Jim. I can't believe you would do that. No, but y'all do share.
I don't think it's Jim. I don't think it's Jim.
Again, like I said before, though, with the number of people that I listen,
I'm not upset about it. I'm not.
Well, I'm not saying you are. I'm just giving you a reason. Why are you yelling at me?
I'm just trying to figure it out.
Why are we having this fight in front of the kids? No, I think if you get 5 people peeled off here and there and here and there, and then you also add in the church service thing, then you're definitely, your numbers are going to be down. So,
all right.
Somebody said Medicare. Is Medicare streaming tonight?
Is that what it is?
Oh, because if Medicare's streaming, yeah, you're definitely going to have low numbers.
Okay, so I'm just trying to figure out what I should be watching instead of me. That's what I'm trying. Like, and maybe I'll be more entertained. I don't know. All right. Well, anyhow, there's one thing I threw into my title and more, and now it's a moment that we're going to reflect on the and more, not our 3 main stories, which we already covered, the Clinton thing, but I also plan on covering Trump with Iran and what's going on in Minnesota. But there's a side thing that I just wanted to touch upon with you, my friend here, which is a story that came out about voter registration in the state of Oregon. Okay. Now, I don't know how familiar you are with the Great Northwest.
I love the Great Northwest. If I left Alabama, it would be to Oregon, actually.
How many registered voters do you think that they have in Oregon? Just off the top of your head.
I could give you a number, not a lot. I mean,
well, they have, I think, 11 electoral votes or something like that. 7. No, they have 7 electoral votes. Yeah. So I'll spare you trying to answer that. I would have guessed a much higher number than it actually is. The number is right here. You see this number on the bottom? 3,069,145. This is voter registration for January 2026 in Oregon. 3,069,000.
way more than what I thought.
What were you going to guess?
Not 3 million. I was thinking somewhere around 1.5 maybe. But
Yeah.
jeez.
No, there's 3 million people there. I mean, you got Portland is there. You know, they got cities. They got Salem.
You got Astoria. That place is beautiful, by the way.
Never heard of it.
Astoria.
But-
That's where. Hold on 1 second. That's where they filmed The Goonies.
Of this 3 million number,
I'm disgusted with you right now.
of this 3 million number,
Mm.
what percentage do you think are not really people living in Oregon anymore?
Oh, bro. I
What would
couldn't
be
tell
what
you.
would be a number that's tolerable? You're like, okay, look, you're not going to have a perfect thing there. What do you think? Let's start with there. What do you think is an
We're at
appropriate
3 million. I
for
mean,
3 million? For 3 million, so you can basically say for every million, I can understand if, let's say, you have a 2% you're off, so that would be 20,000 people, right? So that would be like 60,000 people would be like 2%.
yeah, I would go
Mm.
there. I would land there. That sounds reasonable.
That's fair and reasonable.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah. Somebody says 5 to 10%. I was thinking somewhere between 3 and 5. Yeah.
Yeah. So you would say 5%, which is 150,000.
Yeah.
That's really pushing it already.
Yeah, I
right?
agree. But that's max limit, you know.
That's max limit. So if I told you that they have 10% of these people are not actually real voters, and the problem with having like invalid, like it's called dirty rolls, dirty registration rolls, when you have names on there that are fictitious, is that you can basically have people who work the polls there who are familiar with thousands of names that are basically no longer around, and just start giving that information out for people to fill out ballots for them. It becomes, once you have those names registered, it becomes much easier to engage in fraud. The dirtier the rolls are, the easier it is, because no one's checking, and it's entered in there. So
Yeah.
if I told you it's higher than 10%, it's a little bit higher. So if I told you 300,000, that starts to get you upset, right?
A little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say.
If we push it up to 15%, 400, now that would be 450,000 people. You're like, okay, that's kind of crazy, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%.
Right. And 20%, you're like, that can't even be, right?
That's impossible. That's insane to me. There's
It's
a major
insane.
problem.
It's insane to think
Yeah.
that there would be 600,000, right? 20%, 600,000. That's an insane, that would just be insane. Well, the actual number is 800,000.
Jesus! What in the world is going on? What are we doing?
800,000. That's right. Right. There you go. There you go. 25%. 25% of those voter rolls are just crap. Made up. Made up.
I don't.
After Judicial Watch's lawsuit, Oregon's Secretary of State announces he will now clean 800,000 names from voter rolls.
Hey everyone, huge news. Judicial Watch lawsuits led to the cleanup of 4 million dirty names from the voting rolls in just the last 2 years or so. But there's more heavy lifting to be done for cleaner elections. That's why Judicial Watch just sued the state of Oregon to force it to finally clean up its voting rolls, which are a mess. Federal law requires states to take reasonable steps to clean up their voting rolls, and Oregon hasn't been doing that. In fact, our new lawsuit, just filed for and with the Constitution Party of Oregon and Oregon voters, details how 29 of Oregon's 36 counties removed few or no registrations as required by federal election law. Oregon and 35 of its counties had overall registration rates exceeding 100%. Frankly, Oregon has the highest known inactive registration rate of any state in the nation. Dirty voting rolls can mean dirty elections. Oregon, as I said, has some of the worst voting rolls in America and needs to clean them up as soon as possible. In the meantime, Judicial Watch has lawsuits to clean up voting rolls in California and in Illinois. Simply put, millions of ineligible names need to be removed from the voter rolls under federal law, And Judicial Watch has been, is, and will be in federal court making it happen.
God bless Tom Fitton.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, these when's the last time they cleaned up their voter rolls? Do we have any information on that?
I mean,
Yeah, it can't have been recently. I'll tell you that damn much. 800,000? Are we almost a
800,000.
third? Almost a third
Yeah.
of your available voters that are on the rolls are
It's 25%. It's 25%. Yeah. It's crazy. It's craziness.
it's insane.
That process included the cancellation of as many as 800,000 registrations. That's the number of voters that Reed says are currently classified as inactive on the clear. Inactive voters do not receive ballots, but their names remain on the rolls. The cleanup comes as Oregon's first in the nation vote by mail system is under intense scrutiny. So they're going to be mailing out ballots. They're mailing out freaking ballots. President Donald Trump, who blamed mail-in ballots among other boogeymen for his defeat in 2020, has amplified historical criticism of Oregon's system. There's nuance here. Essentially, because these voters haven't cast a ballot in a certain number of years, they no longer get a handy-dandy mail-in ballot sent directly to their home. That doesn't mean, however, that they can't vote or that they haven't been involved in some level of electoral shenanigans. There are reportedly 167,000 people who haven't voted since 2017 and will be taken off rolls beginning this month. Another 640,000 are classified as inactive and will be reviewed after that. Reed says cleaning up the voter rolls has been a priority since he took office a year ago, but has taken that much time to get his staff in order to develop a process for removing inactive voters that complies with state and federal law and is workable for 36 county clerks. Population of Oregon is only 4.3 million. 2.2 million of those residents voted in 2024 presidential election. And there were an additional 800,000 inactive voters who still received ballot in the mail, despite the fact that the state did not know if they were eligible. Here's the thing. This is the thing. This is the problem. We don't know if they've been mailing out to people, and there's so many going to people who are gone. We know 800,000 did not file to vote, but they seriously could have like 1 million people or 500,000 people there who voted for someone else. You know what I'm saying? In other words, like ballots were cast for them. You could have 100,000, 200,000, 400,000. You could have hundreds of thousands of votes that it's like, oh yeah, they drop in the mail, and the people see like, oh yeah, that their dad is dead, and they just cast a ballot for him because it's coming to them in the mail. So that wouldn't even be reflected in that 800,000 because the dad would still be considered active. The point is this: they're taking no measures whatsoever to ensure the accuracy of the registration rolls. If they're not taking any measures at all to ensure that they're accurate, then if someone comes and votes for someone else, how the hell would they ever know? If they're doing it by mail, how would they ever know? How would they ever find? They're basically saying we're not taking any step to make sure that there's legitimacy to who is coming in here to vote. We don't care who's on our registration rolls. We don't. You think that they do care more about you think that anyone's cross-referencing to see who died and voted?
No.
You think that anyone is doing that in the state of Oregon?
No, not at all. Of course not. What are you talking about? That'd be lunacy. No, they're not.
It's Oregon. It's Oregon. That's what I've been corrected. It's Oregon. I've been corrected on that enough times.
You say it how you need to, man. It's okay. You're heated about these numbers.
Yeah.
The enunciation is the least of the concerns in how that Tecum state.
So consider this testimony from the 2024 election. I don't know if you could see this here. Save image. We'll bring this up. That's not what I want. To unregister, I didn't simply have to change my residence and license. I had to contact my former county election office by phone, reach a real person, ask for them to email me the forms. Again, no, none of this could be done online. Find a place to print this paperwork, sign it, take a picture of it, and then email it back. You really think everyone who moves out of the state does this?
In order to be removed from a voter roll?
In order to get off the
No.
voter roll, that's
No.
what, if you move out of Oregon, that's how you have to get off the voter roll. So you have to get a form, fill it out by hand. No, they assume that when their ID becomes invalid, computer software sifts them out. But no, in fact, ballots for ineligible voters are flying around all over the place. And this next guy says, when I left Washington, I got a ballot mailed to me in my new state almost 2 years later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
And this
crazy.
Gretchen Lynn says, Oregon's website knew my ID was invalid, but on the very next page said that I was still an active voter. The person I reached to change it signed their email with sincerely Maya Honor Anders, they, them, theirs, election specialist. They, them, theirs. That's what's happening here. We have our election registration rolls being taken care of. They, them, theirs.
It's already a task if you move anywhere, even in your own state, right, to re-register in another county and do all these other things. You would think maybe they would.
They make it impossible to take yourself off the list. And
That's what I was about to say. So
it's insanity. I'm sorry. Everyone pretend I didn't say it. You say it now.
What am I saying, huh?
I'm in a funky mood tonight, my friend.
Yeah, a little bit, buddy. You'll be fine. I promise you. Don't you worry about it. You got me here. All right. Just be. I'll be the wind beneath your wings. Okay. We've got a nice cult that's building. I mean, not a cult that's building.
Right.
You have 20 new members that just got
20
inducted,
new members.
Right? You've got a good show lined up. Just hey, it's all right.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
My grandson passed his fire for yeshiva. Oh, good for him. Well
Congratulations.
done.
Yeah.
There you go. Locals, Chad, do locals because they give you more, and I appreciate that. That's very, very thoughtful. Jojo. Oh, we got that one already. Habibi Joey. I never know when your show is going to start. I went to locals at 6:30 California time. To see if you had a post. Nothing. I found the show 4 minutes in. I get alerts from GG, Timcast, Valiant, Viva Fry 30 minutes before they show. Get a freaking producer. My producer's in Israel. So she's on vacation. She's on vacation right now. She's got her freedom from me. I sent the notice out on locals. Almost, it's like the first thing I do after I upload a show. Well, so I'll upload a show, just to let you know, JH. I'll upload a show and I'll try to make sure I beat that 9:30 deadline in order to get it up by 10. And you'll normally will see it like a 9:35. I'm talking, so your time would be 6:35. You know, if you're on the West Coast. But I'm saying is that's normally 6:40. Almost always, and if it's not there by 6:40, it means I probably, because the first thing I do after I go into the process that the step-by-step process is create a thumbnail. Usually, I sometimes will do that first. Like tonight, I did that before I actually set up it. But you have to create the thumbnail. That's what takes the most time.
Yeah,
I could spend like a half hour. Like just saying, okay, I want to structure it this way. No, that looks wrong. This looks off. I got to change the font, put this in here, move this over. Which picture do I want to use of Tim Walz? Do I want to have this expression, that expression? How big should Trump be? All these different things that I'm sitting here trying to figure out how to do, and my placement. I feel like I'm like designing the cover of a magazine. Then I'll go into ChatGPT. I'll tell them what I'm covering. I'll be like, create a title, description, SEO for me. And then I'll fight with it. Then I'll fight with it about what the title is. I'm like, no, that title sucks.
Why are you doing this? So wait, hold on. You're wasting a whole step there if you're coming up with your own title and everything anyway, because you don't like what ChatGPT is doing.
I'm looking for something better than what I created. So I'll be like, no, I like this better. I like this word better. So I'll sort of like haggle with it until we come to something that works. Man, tonight I was really up against the clock, so I was just like, just give me a freaking title. So I didn't even like play with tonight's title at all. But
I give you 2 pieces of advice.
Plus, they give me the description, so I can just copy and paste that.
I just copy and paste my description anyway, unless it's something.
I had to train it. So to like, because what they wanted to do is they wanted to be like, check out the best show ever on. Like, I was like, no, none of this self-promotional crap that's cringy. I want to have just give them what I'm talking about. They still do like a little bit, but not like over the top.
Oh,
so
somebody just asked a question I can't wait to answer.
So yeah.
Yeah, you need to quit. You need to quit wasting all that time and doing that.
No. So that I think
you're wasting time.
They're giving me hashtags. They're giving me SEO. I think it definitely is faster this way.
Well, the hashtags and the SEO, sure, but you need punchier titles. That's one thing.
So that's what I'm doing.
Your titles aren't punchy. Following program, full Clinton.
What did I just say? What did I just say? What did I just say? What did I just say?
But those aren't punchy at all. Those are just words.
No. You see, just because you're not listening to me.
Whoa.
You're not listening because
you know what?
I
can't wait for your producer to come back home because right now I'm really taking the brunt of all this.
I just said, aside from tonight.
But you normally do that though. A lot of times your stuff's not as punchy as I think it could be. You're a funny guy. I think you could probably come up with a better title, then put that in and get it to give you your SEO and your hashtags. I do. I think you're a more clever guy than ChatGPT. I do all my own titles.
I understand what you're saying. What I'm saying is
give it that Joe flair.
Okay. All right. Did you hear Chinese people inspired by Iranians are planning uprising on the Lunar New Year?
Yeah.
Passing around plans for homemade weapons. Xi is scared. Really? Really? That would be fascinating.
So, yeah, just stop talking about my bumpers for super chats, okay? I'm not happy about those, and I did not do those by choice. All right.
No. And Brian Oldenkamp hitting me with 20 more. God bless you, Brian. He's like, don't give up, Joe. Keep pushing.
Good job, Joe. Way to go, Joe.
Keep pushing yourself, Joe. He's like the wind beneath my wings.
I was the one that.
So the following 20 people brought into the following, which is not at all a cold type of call. And please bear in mind when I call out your name, you should express your gratitude to Brian for bringing you into the greatest gathering of enlightened individuals in arguably human history. And even though I'm sitting here night after night, please bear in mind, I am not at all the leader of the following. I am just a host. Those 20 people brought in would include Pilot Grove, Toxic Zombie G, Amber Nicole, Patricia Victory, Lori Pablo, Masonic, Buddha Cafe, 300-Yard Wink. That's interesting. Oh, I see what that is. That's a pretty good shot. Trip Hop, Marie Antoinette, Dan Vicious, Sharon Tyler, the J Bird. That's what that is. Penny GCPA, Rob Nobert, Moon Safari, Big Boop. Hey, Big Boop. It's been so long since I heard that name. I'm so glad to hear that name. I haven't seen it in like forever. I don't know if that means you're here or not, but hey, Boop. Hey, Big Boop. And Todd McDonough, Southern Mom, and Frank Logalbo. Welcome to the following. Please bear in mind, as I said, I'm very, very much not at all the host. I am the leader. I'm just a host. What were you saying?
I mean, you keep saying this, but you're always texting me different things that are very cult-like, and so I'm thinking we're talking past each other and not to each other. Like hold on, let me pull up my email. Let's see.
There we go.
You just emailed me 20 new Nike tracksuits, and then at the beginning of the show,
it's down the road. It's for development of the channel. Nothing to do with the following. Everyone gets all that. Everyone don't get that all twisted. Don't get that all twisted. That's all. That's all about enjoying the overall flavor of the show. Nothing to do with being a member of the greatest, the greatest assembly of enlightened in cultured minds ever
But you're
assembled.
really like everything that you're telling me to do is like we're matching, clothes and masks, and I bought all this Kool-Aid months ago, and it's just
I would say that I'm trying to start a style thing with this whole
a trend.
3-level thing.
Yeah, got you. The
3-level thing.
It's multi-levels.
The multi-level
Are you going to be doing
t-shirt, white shirt, jacket thing? I am trying to start that as a trend.
Got you. That's layering is what they call that.
Layering. My show is layered, so that's why I layer. Exactly. I'm glad someone finally picked up on it. That's awesome. When I was 14, I went into a department store and I was looking at mannequin, and every mannequin, which I was like, they try and make it look like it's a whole look that they're giving the mannequin that you're supposed to want to emulate. And but I noticed that they always have all these more layers than I would ever wear.
Mm-hmm.
More layers of clothing. Yeah. So I'm basically the mannequin of the show. That's what I'm here trying to show you what's in the closet at all times.
Easy with statements like that. This is a conservative show. Okay, calm down.
I have nothing to hide. I have nothing to hide in my closet.
Everything with Joe is out of the closet.
It's all out there. It's all out there.
Everything is out of the closet.
I got nothing to hide. I got nothing to hide. What you see is what you get. Can AI make the thumbnail? Yes, they can, and it will suck.
No, sir. I use exclusively AI thumbnails, and people love my thumbnails. We have gotten more what's it called? Retention rate, right? Then since we changed our thumbnail game over to our consistent AI ones.
Well, maybe because you sucked at making thumbnails.
We were doing great thumbnails. We were doing thumbnails that were similar to the thumbnails you make. And then we started taking those thumbnails and putting them into AI and then rendering them in a certain style and doing different things. So
you make a thumbnail and then render it through AI.
Yeah, we design it and then we do it so it hits. So everything we have matches a certain style. So if you go look at my channel, you'll have like the show we do on Sunday, CG Church. They all line up in a row and match, and then so on and so forth.
So rendering, so you're saying you basically create your thumbnail and then you sort of
I'll put it in there.
A little bit.
I'll put it in there and I'll say, hey, we're doing whatever show we're doing, and we normally use this thumbnail style. And I'll say, change it to look this way. Do it in this style. So it all matches and it all is consistent.
That's an interesting idea that I never considered. Like creating the thumbnail for AI and then just say, put this in like watercolor or like whatever.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we do.
You actually do watercolor?
We have done watercolors. So we do watercolors for our clips. Like anytime I cut a clip or I cut a promo or I need to discuss something, I'll do it in like watercolor. And then like the anime show, we do it in anime style and so on and so forth. So
I want to see something. Now I want to see.
What somebody said, what if you do a thumbnail, run it through AI, then redo it again, and analog again? You could do that, but yeah, I mean, I've got a thumbnail person that is very good. She is fantastic at what she does, and she'll come in and say, all right, what's the topics for today? Now we've been hitting a lot of the same topics because everything that's going on in the little drama circle I'm involved in, but we put those in there, we design it, and then we run it through AI to fit whichever show we're doing.
I'm trying now. I actually just asked my AI to make my thumbnail an oil painting. So I want to see like how effectively they do that. They take a long time to create a picture. It's it's not so I need things done fast.
Yeah, sure. Also, the other thing I can tell you about helping your show is you were talking about your waiting room. I was going to say this earlier since we're on the topic. Okay. We're talking about the waiting room is you set your stream up like right before you're about to go. You need to have I get better luck by setting it up like an hour before and promoting it an hour before. And then as I go live.
That I actually think is legitimate criticism.
Yeah, so I always promote an hour before, and then the moment I go live, I say live now. So because when I come on here, the moment I come on here, I promote it on my Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I'll put it in my Discords and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, when I asked it to just make it an oil painting.
Mm-hmm.
So you see my current thumbnail, right?
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
All right. Well, this is what they give me for. This is what they give me for the oilized version of it.
That is way better.
That is better.
That is way better.
That is better.
That is tremendously better.
All right, one more step.
You're welcome. I'm only going to charge you 10% for whatever you make tonight. And just send me 10% through Venmo. It'll be fine.
I'm gonna have to now change this. If I put this, because I need to have.
I know you've got thousands of videos, but what you could do is start going back when you have time and swapping those thumbnails.
Start swapping thumbnails.
Yeah, so it all matches, and then because you got a new thumbnail, you might get more people to watch.
What about the words? Because I'm missing, like, now can we arrest them and war? And
you can still do those. So what? I've got somebody that does that for me because I'm dumb, and
Right.
but she basically designed the font and everything that we have, colorized it, put it on a clear background, and then she, sets it over top. Boom, sends me a thumbnail.
I could just move this. If I move this backwards,
Mm-hmm.
and then the words send backwards.
You could do the words the same way. Boom, there you go.
Send backward. Send back.
That's why we have Sin here, nothing else. Yeah, I was the wind beneath his wings, and then Brian decided to give more memberships. Thank you, Brian. And that was taken from me. So now I'm now fixing this man's YouTube channel, and
I like it. I'm not
No.
gonna kid. No, I'm not gonna
I don't
kid you.
know. She doesn't use Canva. She uses something else. I would have to ask her. But I've got actually 2 thumbnail people just in case one of them.
I think this is better.
It's way better. It's tremendously better.
All right. All right. You guys can tell me if you think it's better. I think it's pretty good. I do think it's better. It's something that sticks out.
Yep.
All right. Until someone else starts copying me.
That's what you want.
Fair enough.
You start a trend, and then that's what happens. Then the algorithms start picking it up.
I like it.
You're welcome. I'm not gonna, doesn't cost you very much.
All right. Let me just finish up here on the thing. YouTube will let you make an alert without a thumbnail. This will work for me. YouTube doesn't send out alerts for me. Like 10% of people say they get my YouTube alert. I'll do a poll right now. I'm going to ask you, did you get a YouTube alert from me? I'll ask my audience. Did you? We'll have a poll. Did you get it? It's very simple. It's yes or no. Start a poll.
Yeah, everybody's saying yes, I get them. Yes.
I'm not asking the ghetto because I don't know.
I'm not reading the ghetto stuff.
You'll see it in my chat.
I know, but it has a different avatar for him. It has a Rumble logo. Unless it's the local stuff. But that's not the ghetto. That's the upper echelon right there.
Well, yes, no, rarely. Okay. We'll see what they say. We'll see what folks say. I'm not surprised by Oregon. I moved out of DC 19 years ago. You like it? My parents still receive my DC mail in every time, and I follow the procedure many times. And still, yeah, still. Nick is disappointed in my grifting game. I know. I actually need to harass that guy because he has that thing where like they have these different voices, which that's like in my 2 strokes, I lost 1/3 of my brain, and which controls logical and analytics AI thinking. You and Nate have been a huge help in my recovery. Thank you. Thanks and blessings up in Connecticut. Oh, you're very, very. I'm very, very flattered. This is the sort of thing that really says, okay, I just gotta keep doing my show.
Yep.
Hire illegals to make your thumbnails. That's another way to do it. That's another way to do it. But how much for an episode of Joe in full tracksuits? $2,000. Sit here in a tracksuits. I'm not going into a tracksuit. But thank you for the 20. Thank you for the 20, my friend. You hear Argentina pay back the credit swap we did? No, I didn't. I don't know anything about that. I'm curious about it, but I really don't want to start researching it in the middle of my show. But now I'm actually kind of curious about it. I'm doing a quick check of the ghetto before I move onward. I think we're good. Yeah, I think I'm good. I covered everything here. All right. Let's move onward and upward. Bigger and better.
Let's do this. Now that I fixed your YouTube channel, you know, it's all right. No thanks necessary. Just a tone. Just the tone was given. You know.
I do appreciate the thought on that thing. That could be helpful. It really could be. Who knows? Can't hurt. It's gotta be better than what I have.
Yeah.
Before I get into our other 2 main stories here, one more from the and more category. I got this here. You're gonna enjoy watching this. Yesterday there was a whole hearing that SCOTUS held with respect to trans women in sports, and whether a state can ban trans girls from competing in female sports. It's because the state of Idaho issued such a law. One of its citizens who's in Boise State University is a dude who, you know, is saying that they want to compete with women. And so that was oral arguments was presented to the court. And we were actually watching some of that yesterday. And this is and today there was a hearing which Senator Hawley, who I've really getting frustrated with some of his voting tendencies.
Yeah.
He knows how to, of late, but he knows how to make a clip. And this is him talking to Dr. Verma.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Since you bring it up, why don't we just start there? Dr. Verma, I wasn't sure I understood your answer to Senator Moody a moment ago. Do you think that men can get pregnant?
I hesitated there because I wasn't sure where the conversation was going or what the goal was. I mean, I do take care of patients with different identities. I take care of many women. I take care of people with different identities. And so that's where I paused. I think, yeah, I wasn't sure where you were going with that.
Well, the goal is just the truth. So can men get pregnant?
Again, the reason I paused there is I'm not really sure what the goal of the question
The goal is just to establish a biological reality. You just said a moment ago that science and evidence should control, not politics. So let's just test that proposition. Can men get pregnant?
I take care of people with many identities,
Oh man, come on, people. We can't be serious.
It's like, wait, I don't understand your question, but you know, I take care of people with many identities. That's exactly what he's asking. It's a yes or no. It's a yes or no.
Yeah.
Men get pregnant.
Many women that can get pregnant. I do take care of people that don't identify as women. That
Can men get pregnant?
Again, as I'm saying,
Let me just remind you what you testified to a moment ago. Science and evidence should control, not politics. So can men get pregnant? You're a doctor, I think.
Science and evidence should guide medicine.
Do science and evidence tell us that men can get pregnant? Biological men, can they get pregnant?
I also think yes, no questions like this are a political tool.
No, yes, no questions are about the truth, doctor.
I also have a problem with yes no questions, okay? Because I would really like to say more dumb stuff.
He's
Okay?
I'm fairly certain he's a former prosecutor. He's definitely a lawyer. I'm
Yeah.
fairly certain he's a former prosecutor.
Yeah.
So yeah, and he's right in his zone here.
Let's not make a mockery of this proceeding. This is about science and evidence. And I'm asking you, the United States Supreme Court just heard arguments yesterday at great length on this question. This is not a hypothetical question. This is not theoretical. It affects real people in their real lives. And you're here as an expert, called by the other side as an expert. And you've been telling us that you follow, right, you're a doctor, and you follow the science and the evidence. So I just want to know, based on the science, can men get pregnant?
Same question he's been asking now for 2 minutes, trying to get one answer. Can men get pregnant?
That's a yes or no question.
You think so? Now that he pointed out, it's just a yes or no. Can men get pregnant? You think she's gonna? What do you think she's gonna say?
Obviously,
yes or no?
she has to.
She's gonna say
She
yes.
has to say yes, right? She has to.
It really is, I think.
I think you're trying to reduce the complexity of a lot.
I'm not. I'm trying to it's not complex. I'm trying to get to an answer, and I'm trying to test, frankly, your veracity as
She's an OBGYN. That's amazing. I didn't know that, Kim. Thank you.
a medical professional and as a scientist. Can men get pregnant?
I think you're also conflating
This is
male
extraordinary.
female with-
No, I'm not conflating male and female. They're two different things. There's biological men and there's biological women. And I want to know, can men get pregnant?
What you were talking about is biological.
You're not going to answer my question, it sounds like.
Biological males.
This isn't hard, doctor. Can men get pregnant? Yes or no?
Again, I would be more than happy to have a conversation with you that is not coming from a place of trying to be polarized and push.
I'm not trying to be polarizing. I'm trying to ask. I think it is extraordinary that we are here in a hearing about science and about women. And for the record, it's women who get pregnant, not men.
It also.
We're now 3 minutes in, and he had to answer the question for her because she just cannot say that women are the ones that get pregnant.
No.
Hear about the safety of women and science that shows that this abortion drug causes adverse health events in 11% of cases. That's 22 times greater than the FDA label, another fact you haven't acknowledged. And yet you won't even acknowledge the basic reality that biological men don't get pregnant. There's a difference between biological men and biological women. I don't know how we can take you seriously and your claims to be a person of science if you won't level with this on this basic issue. I thought we were past all of this, frankly. I can't believe we're still here talking about this.
I am a person of science, and I'm also someone here who's here to represent the complex experiences of my patients. And I don't think polarized language or questions serve that goal. I don't think they serve the American people.
It is not polarizing to say that there is a scientific difference between men and women. And I want this to be clear and for the record. It is not polarizing to say that women are a biological reality and should be treated and protected as such.
Mm-hmm.
That is not polarizing. That is truth. It is also, by the way, the United States Constitution, which offers unique protections to women in a variety of circumstances as women. And your refusal to recognize women as women and men as men is deeply corrosive to science, to public trust, and yes, to constitutional protections for women as women. And I think it's extraordinary that you would sit here and advance
that smug face she has
that has been thoroughly discredited and rejected by the American people in this forum. And I'm glad we had this exchange because it is exceptionally clarifying. It is also in many ways quite depressing. I see that my time has nearly expired. I just want to thank the other witnesses for being here. Thank you for protecting women and children. Thank you for your valiant efforts. Thank you for following the science. And thank you, Mr. Chairman, for this hearing.
Senator, also.
So there you go. What were you trying to say?
I was saying that you could just see the smugness on her face.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. We're dumbing down an entire generation by allowing these people to.
I didn't think it was smugness. I thought it was more resting bitch face kind of thing.
You think it was RBF? You
Yeah.
think she has a strong case of RBF?
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. which there's a reason that people develop that. It's because they actually, your face
Because
starts
they're a
reflecting.
bitch.
Yeah, your face starts reflecting your emotion, your mood always is.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no
agree.
question at all that when people who have RBF
like you
have
suffering currently
have earned have spent a lifetime developing that because that's how they feel. Their emotions are just negative all the time.
Yeah, you can hear it in their voice. Like you can tell a happy person, somebody who has a fairly fun, productive life, just in their voice alone, you can tell. And you can definitely see it on their face. And okay, so maybe it's not smugness, maybe it's a lifelong condition, and she's suffering from RBF. And we should really take her to a doctor and get them to fix that.
The thing is this, and this is why it's significant.
Resting New York face, somebody said in the chat. Thank you, chat. Thank you for that one.
I don't believe anyone said that in the chat. So
it's wild, your chat sometimes, man. I pay attention to them though.
The point I was about to make was that the fact that she does this actually has ramifications because she's regarded as being a scientist, because it gives the left an opportunity to say, well, science is divided on this. And it gives them an opportunity to pretend to try and get that foothold. So she becomes an essential part of their fight, because when they go into court yesterday, when the Supreme Court arguments, part of what was discussed there is like, as far as what doctors feel about the legitimacy of girls' inability to compete with boys. So when she comes out there and says and refuses to admit something that's basic science, it just is it's frustrating because she's carving a path for there to be legislation which is ultimately very damaging to women.
I agree. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's a problem.
Yeah. She doesn't want to politicize science. Unbelievable. We're about to become the 51st state. Can you explain circuit? Canucks are not going to become the 51st state. Is there multiple circuits? It's confusing. These courts travel to different cities. Alberta, Canada, U.S. Okay. I wish Alberta I'd be fine, especially because Alberta is so rich in oil. That's why you see an oil rig in this guy's picture there, I assume. I would tell you that the way it works on the federal level is trials and juries are always on the district court level. That's the bare bones lowest level. There's two different ways you can get to federal court. You can be litigating over an issue that is a matter of specifically federal law, which means that's a federal question, or it can be that the parties in a civil lawsuit are from different states, and the amount that they're suing, that the plaintiff is claiming, is in excess of $75,000. Those are the two ways you get into federal court, as opposed to going to state court. Now, there are 94 different district courts throughout the country. So in New York, we have 4 district courts. Others have only one. I think Wyoming, smaller states have only one district court. That's where you'll have juries and trials and things of that nature. The first level of appeal, you can appeal as of right if you have a question of law that you think, hey, the judge here just doesn't understand the law or applied the law inappropriately in my particular case, and I suffered because of that, I want to appeal. So you can appeal and go to the circuit court. So the way the circuit court operates is that the United States of America is divided into a map where every state is assigned, you're in this circuit, that circuit, whatever. And they try to lump them all together. If you Google for 5 seconds, you just say map of the circuit courts, you'll see the United States of America apportioned out into various circuits. And that is, however, the reason they're called circuits at that appellate level is because it used to be 150 years ago, judges would actually go to court and they would go from one circuit to another. So they sort of would like go to different spots. And so that's why our first level of appellate court is called the circuit court. But there are 13, there's 13 by number, I believe. And although I don't know what the 13th circuit is, frankly. But, and then you have the, one of those 94 courts, those lower level courts, is the DC court, district court. And there is also a DC circuit court, which only hears appeals from the DC district court. So if you go to the DC district court and you lose there, you can appeal to the DC circuit court. Those circuit courts ultimately have to answer to the Supreme Court. So if you lose at the circuit court level, you cannot automatically go to the Supreme Court. You have to petition for certiorari, which is spelled CERTIORAR. Certiorari. It's spelled certiorari. It was coming out of my tongue faster. Anyway, of the cases that appeal, that they say, I think like 4% of all cases that appeal, or 6% of those that apply for what's called applying for cert, only like 4 or 6% get accepted by the Supreme Court. So you would probably be part of like the 6th or 7th circuit because they try to lump them geographically together. I believe Michigan is like the 6th circuit, so I think you're near there. 7th circuit, I think, is also like up further northwest. I believe that's why. But yeah, it would definitely be 6, 7, or 8. That's where you wouldn't be 2nd circuit. 2nd circuit is here on the East Coast. 3rd circuit's on the East Coast. 5th circuit is down south. So 1st circuit is upper northeast. You hear Argentina pay back the credit swap we did? Yeah, I missed. I think I had skipped Chadwick's. That's why I went back to that. You know what would be better if you let me fix the top of your head that's missing. I DM'd you years ago that I wanted to fix that for you. Everyone wants to fix stuff from. Everyone wants to fix me. Everyone wants to fix me. Go for it. Just fix it. Make it look right. You gotta make it look right. It's gotta be like slightly rounded, not like this big doofy like the new NFL helmets, which are stupid looking. Can we spend a moment talking about those new NFL helmets?
I mean, show me one. Let's see. The chat needs to see one. Let's see.
You haven't seen. You
I don't think I've
seen
them. No, I mean, no, not. I told you, not this year. I moved out to the woods. I'm subsisting off of books and whittling things. That's all I'm doing.
Okay.
Also, you've got a chat here of like hundreds of people that some of them probably haven't seen it. So,
that's probably true. I don't like this picture that I got here for the first one I clicked on.
Yeah, you want it to be way worse than what that one looks like then. See, you're trying to hedge the bets. You're trying to poison the well.
Trying to help you distinguish so you can see
Gotcha. Yeah.
If you can't distinguish it, they call it a guardian cap.
A guardian cap.
It's supposedly safer for them.
Okay.
Guardian cap helmet. Okay, I'm just gonna let you get it.
Looks like waterhead helmets.
These are the stupidest looking helmets I've ever seen in my life.
All right, I'm waiting for it. Oh no.
They're all stupid looking because they have this thing on the
what are we doing? Why are we doing this?
So you're watching a game and all of a sudden you just see like everyone's got like regular helmets and all of a sudden one guy will run out with one of these things.
Why?
Which it looks like they look like they're like a float in a parade. Because it's much bigger.
If they force all the teams to make everyone start wearing those,
you know it's gonna happen.
They're gonna do it, and you are going to lose viewership. That looks so ridiculous.
Yeah.
That looks so ridiculous.
I can't believe you haven't seen this.
No, I have not. I have not seen this at all. This looks like the type of helmet that I would have to put on one of my cousins that whose mom is also his aunt, you know?
It's so much worse when you see him next to like someone wearing a regular helmet.
A normal helmet. It looks like a caricature of a football helmet.
Yeah, it looks like some avatar.
Somebody,
Looks like
it
Avatar
looks like
helmet.
somebody took, it made like a balloon animal helmet for him. Like that is no. Stop. What are we doing? What are we doing? Why are we doing this?
I want to try. I'm going to try, and I don't know if I can share NFL.com here.
I know you'll get popped so quick.
Well, if I show anything, I just want to try and show like a still from like, any moment in a game, and there's always one person on the field who's got one of them.
It just stands out like a sore thumb.
Because it's like their helmet is taking up the whole field compared to everyone else. Like it looks like they're wearing a freaking chandelier. So you're like, this has to be slower. There's no way you can run as fast with just the aerodynamics of it. It just doesn't make sense that you're like not running like 2 steps slow. It looks like they're balancing a chandelier on their head. So like that's why I was like, I need to just share it because you haven't seen it. You need to see like, let me see if I go if I go to I don't know if you can see if I share, because Netflix is very clever. Netflix is very, very clever in that what they do is they make it so that you cannot share it. No one will see it.
So you got to go in there. You got to go into your Google Chrome settings, and I think it's called interpolation. Let me go look. And you also have to do it in Netflix. Let me go to my settings. Where is it at? Performance. I think it's performance.
You have to appreciate just how terrible this looks.
No, it's not performance. Yeah, it's something called, I think it's interpolation. It's a setting in your Google Chrome, and that will allow you to share your screen through like StreamYard or like Discord or whatever. So,
all right, I can try it. Oh, first, let me ask you this. I don't know if you can see like, my first question is like whether you can see like anything here. Can you see that? You should do so.
Yeah,
right?
you can see it. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
It's called graphic acceleration, by the way.
Graphic acceleration.
You have to do it.
The NFL is not quite as safeguardy as Netflix is. If I tried showing you Netflix here, it would just look like a black screen.
Yeah.
Okay. It could be that you see it and no one else does. Like it doesn't.
Yeah,
show
you would see it, but anybody you're sharing it to wouldn't see it. Yeah, you got to turn graphic acceleration off. Go into settings and do that.
I don't know if everyone else saw it.
Everybody can see this.
Everyone can see this.
Let me go look. Let me go pull it up. Give you a free view. This.
Yeah, they can see this. Yeah, they can see it. Okay, fine. All right, cool. So I want to find someone on the field because there's always one. There's always one guy there who's got a thing, and I don't know why it looks so dark. Oh, I don't know why it looks so dark. It's usually much not like this. I don't know what's going on here. I want to see if I can just find one person here. So these are all wearing normal helmets. As soon as you see someone who doesn't have a normal helmet, it really sticks out. I know there's a guy on the Packers who wears.
It's always the kicker.
There you go.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it looks like they have a diaper for their helmet. That looks so ridiculous from the front.
Thank you.
That looks Stop it. Stop it. What are y'all doing, NFL? I there's no way I could watch this and take it seriously. We're doing the thing. What was it?
It looks like a chandelier.
It
looks like a chandelier.
It was the South Park episode where they started like making ridiculous football rules, and the NFL was like, "Oh yeah, that's what we'll do," and they ended up putting like all kinds of crazy protective things on them, and then they started LARPing it and doing like aluminum full helmets.
This guy has to be running slower in that thing.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, of course, the drag is got to be incredible. It has to be way more. That's wild. Let me go grab some water. I'll be right back, Joe.
I'm gonna catch chats anyway. Brian Olenkamp says, I get a notification on YouTube if I'm logged in. I haven't received a locals notification by email since December 17th. I just looked it up. Wow, really? That's crazy. That's crazy. But now I need to check out. Wow, 2/3 of you say you get notifications. And 66% of you say you get, I'm pleased it's that high. 66% say yes, 20% say no, 14% say rarely. Okay. That's better than I thought. That's better than I thought. Hey, just stopping by to say thanks again for the shot you gave me a few years ago. Of course. This guy was an editor of mine. Learned a ton from you, and now I'm making a living on YouTube. God bless. That is awesome. I'm so happy for you. That's amazing. That was really amazing. Thanks, Joe. You explained it better than Google. On the next full moon, I'll sacrifice a red squirrel in your name. There's no such thing as a red squirrel. My thumbnail is a pump jack. I assume that's an oil rig terminology because that just looks like an oil rig to me. So, Spaceballs helmet. Yes, that's what it is. It is the Spaceball helmet. TM2 picks circuits and SCOTUS circuit assignments. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Connie. I appreciate that. All right. I promised we were going to cover Tim Walz thing, his speech. Just trying to figure out where to put that in.
We still got a lot of show to get through.
Yeah, I know. We got to start moving because we've been screwing around a lot.
We've been screwing around a lot. I think I've been focused, laser focused the entire time, not derailing, not distracting, not detracting, doing my job as a good wingman. The wind beneath your wings here.
So you know how CNN feels about ICE, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
They love them, right?
Yeah. This is CNN talking about ICE just 2016.
Oh, okay, great.
Let's check out their thoughts on them then.
Sure.
Guys. An immigration and customs enforcement team gears up for another long day, pursuing undocumented immigrants who have been convicted of crimes in the U.S. ICE agents mistakenly arrest the target's brother.
In the process of talking to him in the vehicle, he then said, "Oh, no, I'm actually so-and-so. Who you're looking for is over here, this other address." He led us to that address, and we were able to actually arrest the individual.
Do you have evidence, right, that he's using a fake identity, or?
That is correct. We believe he's been using a U.S. citizen's identity to live and work. He has an Illinois driver's license. Third target, he has an unauthorized use of a weapon, which was a firearm. He has a couple DUIs. He is a criminal. He has extensive criminal history. And by taking him out of the community, it's making the community safer. And that's ICE's purpose, is to focus on criminals and community safety by taking these recidivist criminals out of our communities.
Yeah, exactly. Way to go. CNN loves it, right?
That's CNN talking about them just under Obama.
Way to go,
When
CNN.
Obama was president, CNN was all about ICE.
Yeah, ICE was awesome back then. Somebody said you missed Rumble Rants. I don't know if that's true or not, but they said in all caps, "Get him, Sin. He missed Rumble Rants."
I got one earlier. There was one I did. Duck Fat says, nothing screams idiocracy more than a gynecologist requiring a pregnancy test from a biological male prior to the cervical exam.
You imagine
That's
going to get a
great.
prostate exam?
That's
They're
really
like,
funny.
before we do this, we've got to give you a pregnancy test. You're like, whoa, wait a minute, doc. Calm down.
That's really funny. That's really funny. Santiago says, Wednesday nights have the best downtown happy hours.
That's also true. That is also very true. Yeah.
It could be. It could be. All right. And So Long Ago Picture Show has rated this stream. So thank you and welcome to all you So Long Ago Picture Show folk. What are you giggling about?
Yeah, the super chat that came in.
No, I can't because Sin be wearing his new helmets. Nice.
Look, once I get to 1,000,
It does look like one of those. It does look like one of those. That's what it is, really. Those helmets look like the special helmets.
That's it. No, that's exactly what they look like. Those guys are already wearing mouth guards.
I'm paying football.
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah. That's,
Like the guy from what's that? The Long Mile or whatever. Like, you teach me to play football, coach. The Longest Yard. That's it. That's the one.
The Longest Yard.
Yeah, The Longest Yard, I think is the name of the movie.
Yeah, no, that the Burt Reynolds version was better than the the
Adam Sandler
Adam
one.
Sandler.
Yeah, but the Adam Sandler one is your people, so I figured like you would support that one more.
No, the Burt Reynolds one was really great.
Okay.
I think he broke his effing neck. I think he broke his effing neck. Oh my god, I think he broke his effing neck.
Sin is a little special, but aren't we all? I have never claimed to be an intelligent man. I tell my chat all the time, I am retarded. So, trust but verify.
Yeah, well, so for the last week we've been hearing about how the left screaming, he missed him, she missed him, she didn't hit him, she didn't hit him.
Yeah. I kept seeing that. I kept seeing that everywhere.
You've heard that narrative?
I've heard that narrative, which is very funny. I've been watching those lefties crash out on TikTok. It has been fantastic.
Well, you might want to share this clip with them.
Okay.
Remember, I told you we were going to be watching Minneapolis, and we have some new information. Department of Homeland Security sources telling Fox News the ICE agent who was hit by Renee Nicole Good's car suffered internal bleeding in his torso. That is the same Immigration and Customs Enforcement agent who was seriously wounded last June when he was dragged by a car during attempted.
As a result of the collision with the car, he had internal bleeding in his torso.
It's so weird how it missed him.
Yeah, one of those.
You've had immaculate internal bleeding before, right? It was just a little food poisoning, man.
It's unbelievable.
That's what happened.
Internal bleeding. I shared this clip out because there's still some folks out who are putting videos out.
I
if
saw
you
you
look
on
at his
Twitter.
leg over here, if you look at his legs over here, I'm like, dude, the dude had internal bleeding.
Yeah.
Why are you trying to do like a whole breakdown of like how it, the tire just missed, the front bumper just missed? And it's like, dude, he has internal bleeding. Like, what do you think caused that? Like, it was just the ice cold Minnesota snow just caused his innards to start turning to mush.
Yeah. Have you ever been to Minnesota? Huh?
Yeah.
Maybe you don't know.
Yeah.
Just saying, man. Sometimes you go on these crazy rants and like all this stuff. Like, oh, I know everything. Like, I saw the car hit him days before the body came.
You know what feedback you said? You saw me on X sharing that out with some of those stupid lefties.
It was
the feedback I got from all the lefties who I shared it with was like, "Oh, and you believe him? And you believe him?"
It was very funny when I saw it. I giggled a pretty good bit. I didn't spend a whole lot of time on X this week, but then when I saw that, I was like,
I'm glad I could provide some amusement for you. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
I started giggling a good bit. It was a good time.
Those lefties want to make you think as if everyone like in Minnesota is so angry that they're there. Well, that's not really reality.
I love the fucking suburb I'm in. So ICE was just in my suburb at our local grocery store while I was there, and they were
Don't you know?
grabbing somebody. Nobody in the grocery store stopped them from doing their job. Everybody was clapping and excited about ICE being there. People were hooting and hollering, chasing their ICE.
Hooting and hollering.
Gotta love small towns in Minnesota, honestly. We are so fucking stoked. And honestly, you know what I did after the ICE agents got done with their job and what they were doing? I said, can I buy you all, like something to drink, something to eat? And I did. And I sure fucking did, because you know what? I'm excited that ICE is in Minnesota. Really excited. I'm not going to tell you the suburb I'm in, but it's close to Stillwater. We'll just leave it at that. Best thing I've seen today is watching an ICE agent arrest somebody and send them back to where they came from. Love it. Super happy about it. Love the suburb I live in, because there was no protesting. Nobody stopped them. Nobody did, because no one gives a shit. We want them gone.
Don't you know I really do love ICE?
So there you go. Minnesotans actually do support removing them, unless they're crazy lefties. But yeah, they do support, and that woman will be very happy to know that there's more of them coming. They're supposed to be sending another 1,000 of them there. So
that's for all these Somalis and all these other crazy people. I mean, they should have never done that stuff. You just ruin it, man. You cause problems for yourself. You got your entire state's been robbed. Just robbed blind for no good reason whatsoever.
President Trump made his promise to American people. We're going to find these criminals and make America safe again. So if they don't let us in the jail, we're going to go in the community. And the difference is,
I'm playing this because of what you just said, that they made their own bed and now they're lying in it, because that's exactly what Tom Homan's about to say.
Mm-hmm.
in places that's not a sanctuary, one agent can walk into a jail and arrest one criminal illegal alien. But when you release them in the community, now we got to send the whole team because we got to arrest somebody on their turf. They have access, who knows what weapons. It makes it dangerous for the officer, makes it dangerous for the alien, certainly makes it dangerous for the community. So if Minneapolis wants to help, like I saw Mayor Fried doing an interview this morning, let us in your damn jail. What's the downside of letting a federal law enforcement officer with immigration authority talk to an illegal alien that you already locked up and put in a jail cell? It's ridiculous that they're pushing back on that. President Trump.
You made your bed. You couldn't make this much easier.
Yeah.
They're sitting here whining that it's so dangerous. That it's so dangerous. Like this clown over here. The irony of hearing someone in broken English complaining about ICE is just astonishing. This Representative Shri Thandar.
Jesus, look at that wig.
Yeah, that's his actual hair, I think.
No, buddy, that's a wig. I'm telling you.
I don't know.
And we must reform ICE. But it looks at this stage, folks, ICE is beyond reform.
It is beyond
ICE
reform.
is totally out of control. And this week, I intend to introduce a bill to abolish ICE.
I would like to say to ICE, thank you, and do not come again, please. Do not redeem. Do not come again. Get out. I'm going to abolish you, buddy.
Yeah, I'm not sure why you did the Irish accent there, but
It wasn't an Irish accent. What are you talking about? Thank you. Come again, please. Yeah, dude, that's a wig. I'm telling you. I would be willing to bet money that that's a wig.
We need to make ICE go away.
Go away.
Oh,
We need to make us go away.
do not redeem.
Go away. We need to make us go away. Dude.
No. Do not redeem. Abolish rice.
Maybe that's how I spell it. Abolish rice.
Before 2003, without ICE, various federal agencies were able to take care of business, and we can do this without ICE. But we do not need
ICE at all,
the
please.
murderers.
Don't need it.
We do not need this paramilitary organizations, members
No, not at
on
all.
our street terrorize us. And we must, finally,
So
What's
there
that
you go.
guy asleep to the right of him? That guy to the right of him is standing there.
That's Al
asleep.
Green. It's Al Green.
Al, why
He's
are you sleeping right now? I'm doing a really good speech and you're just standing there sleeping.
No, this is Benny Thompson. He's the head of the J6 committee. He was the head of the J6 committee.
Oh, yeah, I know that guy. I'm talking about the far
This
right
is
guy.
Al Green. He's the one who stood up
Senior?
he's the one who stood up at Trump's state, when Trump addressed Congress with his cane, shaking his cane at him.
Shaky walk.
He looks like he's like the official pimp of Congress. he walks through the house there with a freaking cane, but like he looks like he's pimping all the time, and he's a classic Democrat lunatic. So yeah, pimping Al Green. He is cray cray. He's a freaking lunatic. So that was Shri Thanadar. He's not going to be happy about the fact that there are actually another 1,000. They already brought 2,000 agents into Minnesota. They're adding another 1,000 on top.
But I told them to go away. I was like, don't come here no more. But they still keep coming. I don't get it.
1,000 more immigration officers to Minnesota. The Customs and Border Protection officers are joining 2,000 other officers and agents at the Department of Homeland Security who've been recently deployed to the Minneapolis region. CNN said that 2 federal law enforcement sources told them that around 1,000 additional U.S. Customs and Border Protection agents are expected to deploy to Minneapolis as tensions between federal law enforcement and local counterparts flare after an ICE-involved shooting last week that left a mother of 3 dead.
Mother of 3 dead. Yeah. Left a murderer dead.
CNN also talked to
A would-be murderer left a domestic terrorist dead.
But like, seriously, that car couldn't have been that dangerous. I'm just saying. The ICE agent.
Klobuchar yesterday.
They literally are sending over 3,000 ICE agents.
This woman always
into
seems
one-
drunk. Amy Klobuchar?
She sounds like she's on the verge of crying to me all the time. All right.
She has like that
literally sending my it's cracking. Yeah. Oh God, I can't.
She's got drunk lady hair.
I think that's actually the official Karen hairstyle. I think that is the official Karen hairstyle, by the way.
Yeah, I would think so. Normally blonde though.
Yeah. That's your picture.
There are like 600 sworn in officers in Minneapolis and 550 or so in St. Paul.
Oh, no,
So the ICE agents are literally overwhelming our own police force. This is
There's more ICE agents than there are Minneapolis police. If you're in Minneapolis, you're more likely to run into an ICE agent than you are a cop. Well, that could also be because why would you want to be a cop in Minnesota? Because you're just going to spend the rest of your life in jail if you end up confronting a black person. But
That's true. That's the first thing. Second of all, those ICE agents aren't being they're being concentrated in areas. So yeah, you're more likely to run into an ICE agent at this point because they are going to be concentrated in certain areas. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Also, you think it's wine drunk or vodka?
Oh, totally box wine.
You think so? All right. I'll go with you on
not
that.
LA. This is not Chicago. And Minnesota is right now
And-
the center of America's heartbreak.
It's not the center of America's heartbreak.
I told you they're going to be gone, Amy. I told them to leave. And we were like, no, you can't come in here no more. You got to get out.
The audacity of calling that woman America's heartbreak. Unbelievable.
Trump officials are sending.
Yeah, so that's what's been going on in Minnesota. But I need to share one thing with you from Minnesota. I need to share this with you first. We're not going to watch this whole thing. This is from Pod Save America. I don't know if they're going to try and hit me for this or not. This is a link on X. So they're freaking out about statements that ICE is now saying to people. Listen to their reaction.
This is your warning. This is your warning.
For what?
Stop fucking following us. You are impeding operations. This is the United States federal
I live
government.
over here. I gotta get to my house.
This is your warning.
Got to get to
All
my
right?
house.
Go home to your kids.
Go to church.
Go to home to your kids. This is your last warning.
I serve the
will
Lord.
arrest you.
Go to church. Let people
The outcome of this, sir.
let
I
the
guarantee
people.
you that. I guarantee you're not going to like the outcome. Go home to your children. It's Sunday.
Yeah, go
It is
exactly.
Sunday.
Let people go
You
to
did
church.
not learn from what just happened. Go home to
Learn
your
what?
kids.
He says, did you not learn from what just happened? And
So this is the gayest breakdown ever. Unbelievable.
Look at his arms crossed. I am sassy. I don't like this. Can you believe it?
They can't believe that he said, "Did you not learn from what just happened?" Listen to these idiots. To their astute breakdown.
It's the second video I've seen
Yes.
where someone says, "Didn't you learn from what
did you
happened?"
learn from what happened? And then the person who's being told, learn what? If I don't listen to you and stop exercising.
Learn what? Learn what? You're a freaking host of Pod Save America. You can't figure out what lesson to learn. This is astonishing. The reality is they know exactly what the lesson is. And the lesson is that, hey, you think it's all fun and games, that you're just going to follow around people who are in a tense situation carrying guns and make them fear for their own safety. You think that that's a joke. And what the officer was saying is, this is not a joke. And we are very serious people here, and you're making us feel threatened. And if you make us feel threatened, that's how crap goes down, like what happened with Renee Good, that no one wants to be the shooting officer there. No one wants to be in that position. And you're putting us in positions where then you're thinking you're doing one thing, someone else thinks you're doing something else, and God forbid someone ends up dead. Most likely you. So what he's actually saying to this guy here is, you're basically you're FAing right now, and you're effing A right now, and pretty soon
you know, there could be, that's what leads to scenarios where people end up finding out. Not because we're going to beat you up, not because we're sitting here looking for an opportunity to shoot you in the head, but because you're basically you're banking. What are you banking on? This is the irony of these stupid leftists. You're banking on them being, you're risking your life on them being really, really professional in their restraint. They're sitting here saying that these ICE officers ICE agents are poorly trained or don't know what they're doing, and yet, if you were dealing with someone who's slightly deranged, you don't go over to that person and start poking them with a stick when they're sitting there carrying a 48. You just don't do that. Because you know, like, oh my God, this person's slightly deranged. Similarly, if there was someone who's very clumsy and would tend to, like, you know, really tend to do like the screwed up, stupid thing all the time, you wouldn't do it. You wouldn't screw around with them because, you know, this person's pretty clumsy and I'm likely to end up in a scenario I don't like. So now we have all of these thousands of lunatic lefties geared up by jackasses like these clowns over here. And they're basically saying, we're going to go up to the line and say, nah, you can't touch me as much as possible, following them around, harassing them, driving into their vehicles, basically trying to tick off ICE and bother them with the horns and the whole following like 2 steps behind and filming like in their face and all this other crap and banking on the professionalism. So the very people you're saying are incompetent are the ones who you're betting your life are professional. And it's a stupid thing because sooner or later you might come across an ICE agent who's perhaps not as professional as everyone else is. And that's your life is over. There's no coming back from it for Renee Good. So and what pisses me off about these jackasses here is they know that's exactly what the cop is saying to them. That's obviously what the cop is saying, but they're trying to twist the cop's words into saying, if you keep following us, we're going to willfully breach our ethical duty and beat the hell out of you in order to portray ICE as being bad, to gin up their own audience, to keep harassing them. So they're purposefully trying to make more of their own stupid, moronic idiots who still think that they know what the hell they're not insane. To get those very people, they must hate their own followers because they're basically encouraging their own followers to risk their lives banking on the professionalism of ICE agents that they say are not professional. It's the stupidest thing in the world. How much must this jackass, John Lovett here, or this other guy, John Favreau, whatever his name is, Favre, I don't even know how you pronounce his stupid name. This little twink. They must hate their own audience because they're literally encouraging their own audience to dance up to the line, kick sand on ICE agents, people who are armed, and know that they themselves, your own audience members, they're not in a position they can fight without risking their own lives. And you're basically putting these ICE agents in fear of their own safety and making it very, very likely that your own followers will end up in a catastrophic situation where they have serious risk of death or serious bodily harm. That's what these a-holes are doing, this stupid, self-satisfied, smug jackass. It gets me really angry. It gets me
you're exactly right. They do not care. Like you said, the F around and find out stuff. It's insane that these people want to do that. Like all these officers have to do is feel like you're a threat to them. Right. And by you doing what you're doing, you are going to be a threat to them. As simple as that. Eventually, you're going to cross the line again. You're going to have another Renee Good. You're now just playing.
But they want another Renee Good. That's my
of course
point.
they do.
They want more. They want 5 Renee Goods. This way, they can say, "You see, ICE is a menace."
Yes. But yeah, no, that's exactly what. Not to mention, like the people that you're going to be leading criminals to be free in your city. You just don't care about that. You just don't care about that. There's no telling what happens if you impede one of these arrests and that person gets away and then goes around and murders someone. How are you going to feel about that? How are you going to feel about that?
They never accept accountability for the ramifications of the fact that they send these people out there.
No, they're going to think they did a good deed, and they don't care about that. They're not looking at the consequences of their actions whatsoever.
I don't know if they actually really believe they're doing a good deed, or it's just like, oh, I'm a social media influencer. I'm wielding my influence, so it makes me feel good about myself. and it gives me more power, and I'm able to, like, get more followers this way, more fame, money, influence.
These guys in general, but the people that they're leading out there, that they're emboldening,
Yeah.
are putting their lives in their hands.
Literally
'Cause
putting
these
their
guys
lives in
aren't
their
going out
hands.
there and doing it.
Right.
These guys are sitting in their little studio.
They send their
with
little army
arms
out after
crossed.
ICE.
Yeah, with their arms crossed and their lips pursed, like, I'm a sassy queen. Like, get over it.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable how they literally hate they have no regard for their own audience.
It's very dangerous. It's very, very dangerous and stupid.
Yeah. Anyhow, so I just I saw that and I was like, when I see something, I'm like, I think I have something to say about this. Those are the ones that I try to make sure I lock away and unload on. A couple chats here. This was pretty funny. That was pretty funny. The John Jacobson Better Leering Better Leering Center. I'll tell you right now, I don't think we hit our goal, but I don't care. We're going to still honor as if we technically hit 6 out of 15, but
all right.
Particularly because of Brian Oldenkamp, we're going to respect as if and his 40 gifted memberships. We're gonna treat this as if we reached our goal tonight. So
I just noticed what the actual goal was. I don't know why I didn't even read it earlier. What are we?
What? You were the one pushing, saying, "Hey, we hit the goal. We hit the goal."
Wait, hold on.
You were like, "Oh, Brian Oldenkamp came in there. We gotta count that money wise.
Yeah,
that's $100 right there."
I mean, that's fine. Look, I want to honor and do what's right by the chat, but I didn't even realize what they were pushing for.
Hans Unpack said he was initially confused about opposing ICE because he needs the slushing machine to work, which requires ICE. So
very true.
There you go. There you go.
Hit the goal.
Anyhow, Tim Walz is in trouble.
You might want to.
I might want to.
Your chat.
Oh, look at that. God bless you, Liz. Go! Nicely done. Thank you. Thank you very much, Liz. Another ICE shooting in Minnesota. DM you the tweets. There was? Oh my God. Oh no. Oh no. Another ICE shooting. Are they dead? This is what she shared with me. At 6:50 p.m. Central Time. So that's like 5 hours ago. It was like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 4 hours ago, 4 and a half. Federal law enforcement officers were conducting a targeted traffic stop in Minneapolis of an illegal alien from Venezuela who was released in the country by Joe Biden. In an attempt to evade arrest, the subject fled the scene in his vehicle and crashed into a parked car. The subject then fled on foot. The law enforcement officer caught up to the subject on foot and attempted to apprehend him when the subject began to resist and violently assault the officer. While the subject and law enforcement were in a struggle on the ground, 2 subjects came out of a nearby apartment and also attacked the law enforcement officer with a snow shovel and broom handle. As the officer was being ambushed and attacked by the 2 individuals, the original subject got loose and began striking the officer with a shovel or broomstick. Well, this is going to be a justified shoot. Fearing for his life and safety, as he was about to be ambushed by 3 individuals, the officer fired defensive shots to defend his life. The initial subject was hit in the leg. All 3 subjects ran back to the apartment and barricaded themselves inside. The attack officer and subject are both in the hospital. Both attackers are in custody. It's all because of jackasses like those 2 morons I just showed.
100%, yeah.
This attack on another brave member of law enforcement took place while Minnesota's top leaders, Governor Walz and Mayor Frey, are actively encouraging organized resistance to ICE and federal law enforcement officers. Their hateful rhetoric and resistance against men and women who are simply trying to do their jobs must end. Federal law enforcement officers are facing a 1,300% increase in assaults against them as they put their lives on the line to arrest criminals and lawbreakers. Yeah. Yeah. Well, if that's not the reason that this jackass is imperiled.
Mm-hmm.
But articles of impeachment have officially been filed against Governor Tim Walz in the Minnesota House.
Womp womp. Oh no! Oh no! Oh Timmy, what happened, buddy?
Timothy J. Walz has engaged in corrupt conduct in office by violating his constitutional oath to faithfully execute the laws of this state. Accountability is coming.
Timmy, what'd you do, buddy? Did you go out there and got a little too big for your britches? Maybe a little bit.
So the first whereas over here is saying that they have a right to impeach, whereas Tim Walz has engaged in corrupt conduct in office by violating his constitutional oath to faithfully execute the laws of the state. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the House of Representatives of the state of Minnesota that Timothy J. Walz is impeached for corrupt conduct in office. So not for risking ICE agents, but his corrupt conduct.
Of course. Oh no, Timmy, what you gonna do, buddy?
In accordance with Article 8, Section 3, Timothy Walz must not exercise the duties of governor from the time the resolution is adopted and may resume the duties of governor only if acquitted by the Senate and of the state of Minnesota. So if they pass it, in that case, he gets put on hiatus. This is different from the way it works with the president. The president gets impeached. He keeps in that function and keeps doing it unless convicted by the Senate.
Yeah.
But Minnesota's rules for impeachment, their state rules for impeachment are if you're convicted by the House, if you're impeached by the House, you're facing conviction, but during that interim span, you cannot serve as governor. It's an interesting little wrinkle there. So he might be put on hiatus there. So that's the it has not passed yet, obviously. In fact, we have here this clown gave his 6-minute speech tonight about ICE. This is probably going to get me angry. I haven't seen it yet. I'm a little concerned.
All right.
I'm a little concerned.
I'm here with you. Don't you worry about it, Joe.
Okay.
Masked, under.
So this is a little bit over dramatic here. You're starting with the word masked to try and portray the horrors of ICE. Masked.
Trained ICE.
Undertrained. You don't believe they're undertrained, because if you thought they were undertrained, you would tell your people stay away from them because they might end up killing you. So you're lying.
Are going door to door, ordering people to point out where their neighbors of color live.
Not neighbors of color, where illegal aliens are. And I'm sure they don't say it shows where your neighbors of color are. If they're illegal Europeans, they'll take them too.
They're pulling over people indiscriminately, including U.S. citizens, and demanding to see their papers.
That's almost certainly not true unless they have reasonable suspicion.
And at grocery stores, at bus stops, even at our schools, they're breaking windows, dragging pregnant women down the street.
Breaking windows of lunatics who are trying to impede them. So they're lawfully doing it.
Just plain grabbing Minnesotans and shoving them into unmarked vans.
No, they're not Minnesotans. That's the point. So, yeah. Or they're people who are aiding and abetting those individuals.
Very true.
Kidnapping innocent people with no warning and no due process. Let's be very, very clear.
Let's be very, very clear. Your days are numbered, and you should be worrying about your fraud a lot more than you should be worrying about this, you stupid jackass.
This long ago stopped being a matter of immigration enforcement.
This has always been a matter of immigration enforcement to everyone except you. For you, it's just some soapbox you can stand on and pretend that you actually give a damn when you don't give the slightest damn. The reality is this dude doesn't care about it at all. It's just this is an area that he feels like he can use to bludgeon the current president of the United States. So he's going to try and call on sympathy for folks who deserve none of our sympathy because they've been bleeding us dry.
Instead, it's a campaign of organized brutality against the people of Minnesota by our own federal government.
It's not a campaign of organized brutality against Minnesotans. It's organized collection of people that you and your party decided to allow into this country and basically unleash them on good, God-fearing Americans.
Last week, that campaign claimed the life of Renee Nicole Good.
No, she claimed her own life. She claimed her own life when she basically decided she's going to try and run over an ICE agent. So she basically she committed suicide by bullet.
We've all watched the video. We've all seen what happened.
Yep.
And yet, instead of conducting an impartial investigation so we can hold accountable,
You're not impartial. What the hell makes you impartial? You're the furthest thing from impartial. You're starting off this whole thing with masked agents throwing people in unmarked vans. How the F are you or any agency you're overseeing remotely impartial? You've shown more partiality as a governor to yourself and your own interests than perhaps any governor in this century, where you're sitting there with your stupid fraud that's going on there in percentages that are unseen. Ridiculous levels of self-dealing and corruption. So you show that you look out for number one. You look out for yourself all the time. You look out for your political interests. You look out probably for your bottom line and certainly for your own political interests. And that's what's first and foremost. So you're the furthest damn thing from being impartial.
the officer responsible for Renee's death, the Trump administration is devoting the full power of the federal government to finding an excuse to attack the victim and her family.
It's not finding an excuse to attack the victim and her family. Where are they doing that? Who's doing? Have you seen people doing that?
No, not once. Not one time.
Yeah.
Yesterday, 6 federal prosecutors, including the longtime career prosecutor leading the charge to investigate and eliminate fraud in our state's programs.
You don't have anyone investigating fraud. They're trying to impeach you because you're so sucky at controlling fraud.
Are people looking at fraud? Trust me, your Attorney General Ellison is right behind you on those impeachment papers.
Quit their jobs rather than go along with this assault on the United States Constitution.
They quit their jobs and they fled for for like some country that's not going to extradite them to America because of the criminality that you have going on there. They quit their jobs because they're so outraged. They're so outraged. An independent auditor, I don't know if you saw that, I shared a clip of this. Independent auditors said that they never saw the likes of the fraud and corruption that they've seen in the first week or two of them doing their investigation into Minnesota. They told over one story of where they say grants are being approved without them even knowing anything about the people, and hundreds of thousands of dollars going out the door without any oversight. In one extreme case that they cited there, that a grant was issued to a company that they didn't know anything about or what they did. And in the first month, they gave that company $670,000. And days after doing that, the person who approved it quit working for the government and became a consultant to them. So what did Minnesota do? You think that they said, hey, this looks really funky. We're going to investigate John over here, who basically just approved a loan, and now it seems like he's getting that money paid back to him as a consultant, certainly a healthy percentage of it. You think they did that? No. Instead, what they did is they started backdating papers to try and make it look like it was a legitimate deal. That's the level of corruption you're dealing with this schmuck. So I don't think that you're actually in a position to talk about your great investigators over there, because your investigators actually help cook the books rather than investigating and prosecuting anyone. Schmuck.
Get him, Joe.
But as bad as it's been
bad. You've been terrible. It's been really, really bad.
It's been
Donald
really
Trump
bad.
for it to get worse.
It's about to get worse for you.
This week, he went online to promise that, quote, the day of retribution and reckoning is coming.
For who? For who? For illegal aliens? Okay.
That's a direct threat against the people of this state.
And it's not against the people of the state. He's not talking to you. He's not talking to people who were supposed to vote for you, at least legally. Although we should have grave concerns about whether that happened.
Who dared to vote against him 3 times and who continue to stand up for freedom with courage and empathy.
They voted against him 2 times. You just counted it as 3 times. And I'm not even sure they probably only voted against him once.
And profound grace. All across Minnesota, people are stepping up to help their neighbors who are being unjustly and unlawfully targeted.
I cannot wait for this jackass to be driven out of politics forever. I cannot wait. He has a year left. He's not running for re-election anymore because he's so saddled by humiliation for his fraud. For at the very, very best, if you want to give him every single
benefit of doubt, he is an utter moron as to how to run a state.
I would say so.
Here's the thing, okay? I was at a board meeting for a co-op once, like 15 years ago, and it's the first time that this reality hit me. The board was announcing to the shareholders of this co-op, meaning the tenants, saying, look, we're going to have to be raising your maintenance fees because we're looking at the numbers. You can all look at, and the numbers are basically saying that we're 15%, we're 6% over budget. So we're going to need to raise your maintenance fees by 10%. So we have some reservoir here.
Yeah.
And this one woman raised her hand and she said, I'm just wondering, can we look at the books? And the chairman of the board said, you're perfectly free to look at our books. We're not hiding anything here. You can look at our books. But I am curious, is your motivation for looking at these books because you think I'm a thief or because you think I'm a moron? And she just sat back down. And that's when he said, because it's got to be one or the other. Either you think I'm corrupt or you think I'm incompetent. But if you think that I'm telling you what the situation with the book, so I'm either lying to you or I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm just curious which of those two you think it is. And that's the first time when he phrased it like that, I was like, it's true. Every time there's an accusation that there's something wrong there. So anytime there's a problem that goes wrong somewhere, it has to be one of those two things, that someone was either a thief or someone is a liar. So that's what I'm saying about this guy. The best you can say about him is that he's not a thief, but that he's just he's the worst incompetent governor in America by a light year, and arguably the worst one we've seen in America this century.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. He's purely incompetent.
I think that there's some corruption there too.
Oh, yeah, I would agree with that. He seems like the type of guy, but he seems like the type of guy that's not corrupt by his own hands, that he's a spineless coward who is corrupt.
Oh, no, I think he has money siphoned into toward himself.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah. But maybe he should open his own daycare. That's funny.
Packages and walking kids to school and raising their voices in peaceful protest.
I can't watch any more of this. I got 2 minutes. I made a third of the way in. I can't watch any more of it.
Yeah, I was letting you write it, man. I was letting you write it out. I was just gonna see your righteous anger with that guy. He is a moron. He's an absolute moron, plain and simple. And everybody should see him as that. Yeah.
Such a jackass. Oh my God.
And imagine he could be a heartbeat away. He could have been a heartbeat away from being our president.
Yeah. Yeah, it's horrifying. And frankly, we would have been like, and with Kamala, I don't think Kamala is any better at all. She's known to be a moron. I mean, God. All right. Thank God. It's like such a diametric extreme opposites of having like the worst president imaginable or the greatest president any living human has ever seen.
Yeah.
Like it was amazing. It's thank God we managed to make it too big to rig. All right, let me just cover Iran. In case you're unaware, there's been this uprising that's been going on in Iran. Are you following at all what's happening in Iran?
I was just looking at it. I've only heard rumbles. It's something that I have on my list to start looking into.
Okay.
When I catch up on my news for the week. So, but yeah, not the whole story. So.
Okay. I started looking at it. I see here you shared with me a clip on this.
That's the only one I could find that was even decent from someone that, seems halfway legit. The rest of it's just articles.
Right. So this clip here is just, well, I really wanted to see if I could get a clip of Trump talking about it. You're giving me the foreign minister in Iran. So basically,
I couldn't find anything with Trump talking.
There's a
there's an uprising that's going on where they're trying to overthrow the fundamentalist government of Iran. That the youth there are trying to overthrow the fundamentalist government. Naturally, this uprising is something that has been blamed, and supposedly they've killed 12,000 Iranians so far. The government, 12,000. Just think about it. That's a lot of people. 12,000, and they keep uprising. God bless. It's very impressive. This is true. I should get to Biden. In fact, you dropped so many 20s. I'm going to give you one of these. But Biden is proof you can be a thief and be incompetent. That's true. He was the corrupter in chief. He was corruption in chief. So, yeah. So of course they're going to blame Israel because that's what they're going to do, which is what the foreign minister in Iran says. The Israeli agents are killing protesters. Yes, Israeli agents are coming into our country and they're killing protesters. It's not the people who are dressed in the Iranian military uniforms. It's Israeli agents. Oh my God. Yeah. Well, anyway, Trump has threatened Iran that if they keep shooting their own students, that something is going to happen. I don't want to see Trump actually follow through on that threat. It's possible that he understands the situation, the foreign affairs better than any person on earth. So it's possible that his assessment is that the threat alone, given what we did to them over the summer, that will intimidate them. But there is the war hawks are seem to try to push him into Iran. I certainly hope that we do not go into Iran. I don't want to go in there. If they have their uprising, I'm happy to root for them for the sidelines. But I definitely don't think that we should be sending any. I don't want to be sending them money. I don't want to be sending them anything. Just nothing. Just stand back and let events unfold as they are. And Trump was actually issuing some rhetoric implying that, at a certain point, maybe it's going to be important for us to go in there. Well, fortunately, it seems as if cooler heads are starting to prevail in the Trump administration on the Iranian front. So that is excellent news. Tyler Durden here reporting. Trump appears to de-escalate Iran rhetoric. Killing has stopped, is what he says. The reports that President Trump is listening to the non-interventionists in his cabinet, as he says Wednesday afternoon, he's been told that the killing in Iran is stopping. And with no plan for executions, WTI futures immediately dropped on the news wires. WTI fell from US $62 to lows of 59.88 per barrel over 7 minutes. Brent fell from 66 to 64. With Trump noting Iran has no plans for executions, it drastically reduces the chance of the U.S. attacking Iran, particularly a kinetic attack, meaning that we're going to be sending in actual, military
boots on the ground. Yeah.
Expectations of an attack have been building today, with reports suggesting it could happen within 24 hours, which saw crude gain through the session. Several nations urged citizens to leave Iran. S&P 500 index prepares gains after Trump-Iran comments. So Trump said he's been told that killing in Iran has stopped and there will be no executions. I've been told in good authority.
We have been notified and pretty strongly, but we'll find out what that all means. But we've been told that the killing in Iran is stopping, and it's stopped, and it's stopping. And there's no plan for executions or an execution or executions. So I've been told that on good authority. We'll find out about it. I'm sure if it happens, we'll all be very upset, including you will be very upset. But that's just gotten to me some information that the killing has stopped, that the executions have stopped. They're not going to have an execution, which a lot of people were talking about for the last couple of days. Today was going to be the day of execution.
So, because he was threatening that if you're going to go forward with these executions, we're going to have to get more. We're going to have to take steps. He was very cryptic. He's remained very, very cryptic, and I think that's strategic.
Yeah, I think so.
Because the rather than saying what he will do, it's like almost like, just wait till your father gets home.
Mm-hmm.
Not if once you reduce it to this is what your father will do.
Yeah,
it's much less scary than
because you can prepare for it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right. But
how mad do you think Lindsey Graham is today?
That's exactly right. I think Lindsey Graham is ticked.
I tell you what, Trump, you son of a bitch. Iran's just been doing all kinds of bad things, and you know it.
Yeah,
poor Lindsey, poor guy.
They're burning down the mosques and Islamic Center. No boots required. Just give the people air cover. I don't know. You can give them air cover. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see us in Iran. I don't want. No.
I was not going to be profiting off that war. Okay, I just really hate that all this is happening, Trump, and you're stopping it. We need boots on the ground now.
The bulk of the U.S. Navy strike group has remained in the Caribbean Sea after the Trump ordered Venezuela operation to oust Maduro, and there is as yet nothing to signal a new buildup of naval power in the Mediterranean or anywhere in the Central Command area of operations. However, there are signs that logistics transport flights have increased. However, well, I think it was a week ago or so that we were getting all those reports about Pizzagate, right? We had what's his face on about the DC pizza places open, not Pizzagate, but DC pizza places were like on fire a week ago. Remember, we had what's his face in here? We had Andrew Branca in here, and he was talking about how Pizza Watch was going crazy a week ago, which was indicative, or is often indicative, of major happenings about to unfold because people are gathering in DC. The powers that be are gathering in DC and ordering pizza. So, however, there are other signs that President Trump might be serious about attacking Iran. Various news sources, including Reuters, is reporting Wednesday that the U.S. is pulling some staff out of major regional bases as precaution amid rising tensions related to the Iran protests and a potential U.S. military response. I certainly don't want to leave them there and have them get taken captive like we saw in 1979. This comes after a senior Iranian official earlier stated that Tehran has warned neighboring countries hosting U.S. forces that American bases would be targeted if Washington launched strikes. Reuters writes, earlier today, some personnel were advised to leave the U.S. military's Al Udeid air base in Qatar by this evening. Al Udeid is the Middle East's largest U.S. base, housing around 10,000 troops. Ahead of the U.S. airstrikes on Iran in June, some personnel were moved off U.S. bases in the Middle East. I don't think Iran is about to. They're not going to be doing a preemptive attack. That I'd be shocked by, because they know what hell would rain down on them if they attacked the U.S. base. In the last instance, that's one of the things. Like when we killed Soleimani, Iran responded by basically shooting off weapons at an empty base. And that way they can go back to their people and say, see, we took care of the problem. We showed America. And a similar thing happened this summer. And Trump is like, all right, look, if you need to get out of your system, that's fine. But you better make sure that no Americans are going to die.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's almost certainly coordinated. You can picture Iran calling Trump and saying, look, I need to blow something up. Mm-hmm. So, and I don't want you killing me. So, but if I don't blow something up, my own people are going to kill me.
Yeah,
so,
I've got to play both sides on this for sure.
Yeah, so clear a warehouse so I can basically target that and blow that up, and that way, and then we're not going to do anything more. You can almost see how that phone call almost certainly is what happens. How do you know that there's no one there?
Mm-hmm.
In the last instance where Iran faced attack, but you can't admit, no one could ever admit it publicly. Trump can't admit it publicly. The guy can't admit it publicly, but that's almost certainly what happens. In the last instance where Iran faced attack by the U.S. and Israel, Iran launched ballistic missiles at Al Udeid Air Base outside Doha. All or most were intercepted with no reports of troop casualties. This attack occurred on June 23rd, one day after the U.S. struck 3 Iranian nuclear facilities with deep penetrating bunker buster bombs. The aforementioned warning from a senior Iranian official stated as follows. Tehran has told regional countries from Saudi Arabia to the UAE to Turkey that U.S. bases in those countries will be attacked if U.S. targets Iran. I don't think they're going to have anything to punch with if U.S. targets Iran, but it sounds like an empty threat. That's not the reason to be afraid. The reason to be afraid is I don't want to see any American troops getting hurt in Iran itself.
Of course. Yeah, for sure.
While the week started with talk of some kind of dialogue between Washington and Tehran toward de-escalation, Trump quickly changed his mind and by Tuesday said he canceled all meetings with Iranian officials, citing the brutal crackdown on protesters. He wrote on Truth Social that help is on its way for Iranians. That's the scary language. Help is on its way for Iranians. Now, that could have just been his way of a shot across the bow to Tehran, saying, hey, stop butchering people or help will be on its way.
Mm-hmm.
But Iranian patrols keep protesting, take over your institutions, save the names of the killers and abusers. They will pay a big price, Trump wrote. I've canceled all meetings with Iranian officials until the senseless killing protesters stops. Helps on the way. However, there's ample evidence that many dozens of security personnel have been killed and wounded as well. Clearly, in many locales, rioters have deadly weapons, and Tehran says it's facing the beginnings of a foreign-backed terror operation and insurgency. Of course, they're going to say it's foreign-backed. Tehran governor, let's see what he says.
ببینید ما در مرحله اول خب جمع‌آوری است، یعنی جمع‌آوری میزان خسارت‌ها که ابلاغی که دادیم هم فرمانداری‌ها، بخشداری‌ها، شهرداری‌ها جمع‌آوری لازم رو انجام دادن، میزان خسارت‌ها رو جمع‌بندی کنیم تا امروز که بنده در دولت هم گزارش خدمت‌های رئیس جمهور و اعضای محترم دولت دادم، میزان خسارت‌ها دقیقاً تا این مرحله جمع‌بندی شده. از نظر ریالی ما جمع‌بندی نکردیم، حدود 1000 خودرو سواریه، البته جزئی و کلی استان تهران است.
All right, well, obviously this guy's lying, so I'm not going to listen to any more of that. So, but it should be obvious by now that organizations like the CIA, MI6, and Mossad are constantly looking for ways to take advantage of the situation and destabilize the country, ripening it for regime change. Trump has just dodged another interventionist disaster in the Middle East by choosing not to pull the trigger. Yep. And by the way, I was kidding. I had no idea what the hell I was saying either. Okay?
I was sitting here going, wait a minute. I feel so stupid right now. Why is he?
Yeah. I wasn't even sure what language that was, but so yeah, there you go. Tusi TV is covering Iran stories, and yeah, so I assume you agree with me that it's really fun to see a nice regime change there, but I really want America to have as little to do with it as possible.
Yeah, keep us out of it. Like, I'm tired of being in the Middle East. I'm tired of being stuck there, just bogged down for centuries at this point. Like, just stop. Let them. They want to. If they want to have an uprising and a regime change, let them do it. It's their country. Stay the hell away from it.
There you go.
Let them do it.
There you go. There you go. All right. So I said that we're going to have a session here where folks can call in and yell at Cyn.
Yeah, let's do that.
So that was the goal, and we're counting it as if we hit our goal here, courtesy of Brian Oldenkamp and Daniel Weimer, who is sitting here contributing, and obviously Liz with her generosity as well. And all of you who contributed, thank you, Uzelian over in the ghetto. I remember you ghetto folk in Emerlock, and Chadwick Canuck. And yeah, Daniel Weimer has been here making us laugh our asses off all night. So with stuff like how much for an episode of Joe in a full tracksuit. That's not going to happen. All right. So with that, it's time for me to open the phone lines. It is time. That's what we got to do. So you might be saying, Joe, what number do I call if I want to yell at Cyn? You don't have to yell at Cyn. It's not mandatory. It's just highly recommended.
I am very sensitive.
It's just highly recommended. And if you have anything else on your mind, you can get that off your chest as well. The number to call, I'm going to put a banner up here that's going to be floating along the bottom of the screen. It's a reminder also that you should please like and subscribe. The phone number that you're going to be calling is 972-454-0703. 454-0703. That is the number. That's the only number you need to be calling. And yeah, those phone lines are now open. So there you go.
All right, I'm ready for this. I'm braced.
You're braced?
Yeah, I've girded my loins, I think is what people would say.
You're ready for people to be yelling at you?
Yeah, let's do this. Come yell at me, which is very funny. There's
There's
people
a-
on the internet
there's
that
a-
don't
there's
like
a
me.
lot.
It'd be great if they did call in.
There's
There's a lot. There's a line. It's around the block, guys.
A lot of people are itching for, have been itching for that chance. So did you, by the way, I don't know if you were following my show last night, you saw that Scott Adams died, right?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. You just got to talk to him, didn't you?
No, I've never spoken to Scott Adams.
Oh no, that was a sorry, there was another guy I do a show with that got to talk to him the day before. Or
Really?
like a
The
week
day
ago.
before he
Yeah.
died?
No, not the day before, like the week before he did a space. And he got to go on and actually talk to him. So
Cool. I wish I'd seen that. I would express my gratitude to him.
Mm.
So it's possible that no one wants to yell at you. That is possible, by the way. Or that people are intimidated. And I'll tell you right now, if you are intimidated by the notion of yelling at him, I will point this out. The beauty of this is if he yells back at you.
Call from
Parker. Dick Parker.
Dick Parker.
How's it going, Joe?
How you doing, brother?
All right, man. You start calling me the icebreaker if you want.
This is Dick Parker on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just wanted to talk to Sin. He talking about he wants to move up to Oregon.
Yell at him.
About the weather. Does he know anything about the weather up here?
He's incompetent.
He like
He's not a thief, though. So
what's that?
he's not a thief. Even though he still owes me from that bet that I won. But
you never gave me. You know what?
I know
Okay.
his,
but I still think he's just.
character.
I don't blame him to
Character.
thievery. I think
He's from
just
Alabama.
incompetent.
He's from Alabama, for Christ's sake. That should tell you a lot.
You have any thoughts about this, Sin?
Oh, I can't hear him. I'm gonna have to replay it.
I know. I mean, he
He's-
can
hold on a
have
second.
opinions on it. You know what
You
else?
can have
What am I
opinions
going to do?
on it.
I'm not
But
going.
don't you realize the weather? Don't you realize the weather?
I
is
realize.
moving?
No, I realize the weather, but sometimes in
It, like,
life
starts
you
raining
make
in
decisions
October
for
and
other
doesn't
people.
stop until like May, June.
Yeah. Basically, you have 6
It's
months of
horrible.
rain.
I'm not mad about that. I'm not
Yeah,
mad about that. at all.
I mean, if you like the snow, if you go up in the mountains, yes, it's snowing and you can play in the snow. But
Where
it's
do you?
not nice.
What part of our great nation do you live in, Richard?
I'm currently in Washington, north of Seattle.
Oh, so you have rain all the time.
This year we're gonna have a hell of a fire-ridden summer next year because we got like 2 weeks of sunshine coming up now, and the snow that did fall in the mountains is all gonna melt. It's gonna burn like crazy next summer.
Yeah.
The smoke gets so bad up here in the summertime it blocks out the sun.
But don't.
It's yeah.
Who's your governor up there?
It was Jay Inslee. Now it's the ex. He was a district attorney, the state attorney general.
Uh-huh.
I can't remember all them. He's just as bad, if not worse.
Yeah.
I hope they get up here and investigate. There's just as much going on up here as there is in Minnesota. They are just crooked as all the Democrats are, stealing.
Yeah, we got Mickey Sherrill coming in here, and
Okay, I just wanted to get him started, and
I appreciate
have a good
it.
evening.
I appreciate
Enjoy
it.
your show.
That was good. I appreciate the call as always, my brother, and that was a good start. It's a good start as far as how stupid he's being and talking about that. Oregon is a place to. It's an ideal. If not here, then Oregon.
I didn't
It's
say
like-
that.
Maybe I'll go the great haven of Oregon.
Sometimes you make decisions in your life based off of other people. So
Yeah, have a good one.
Thank you, brother.
Bye bye.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I've never heard anyone describe Oregon in the waxing sentimental tones that you were expressing earlier. That was kind of weird.
Course.
That was kind of strange. But look, everyone's got their own quirks.
Of course, yeah. Sometimes you make decisions based off other people. Sometimes you make your own. And it's just the way it works. And
so now you're blaming someone else.
Yeah.
Now you're blaming someone else.
Potentially, yes.
So instead of accepting responsibility for this poor
I
decision
would.
making on yourself,
yes,
you're gonna say it's someone else's fault.
Yeah, of course. Why not? I'm just learning it from the left.
Nice.
I watched that podcast earlier.
Nice. All right, let's see what else we got.
Call from
Adelia.
To
What did
accept,
he
press
say?
1. To send
I have no
voicemail,
clue. I couldn't help you.
What did you say your name was? John?
Adelia.
Oh, that's close.
You were close. I'm not exact. My voice is not in a condition currently to shout anything.
Okay.
But wanted to say that I quite enjoy listening to you banter.
Thank you.
Mm.
Thank you.
So-
And entertainment is a key element here. If I'm not entertaining you, you're not going to come back. So I appreciate that. Thank you. Where are you from, Adelian?
I'm from South Dakota.
South Dakota. Because I don't hear the whole Fargo accent. I don't hear that northern accent that
South Dakota does. I always call it standard American because you can tell we're American. You can't place where we're from.
Right.
We just don't really have its own accent.
I have the same thing with my accent. No one can ever tell what part. No one guesses for a second that I come from New York. So it's impossible to tell.
Yeah,
So
don't do that. Don't say that like that.
All right. I probably shouldn't be speaking very much, so I'll go ahead and let someone else.
Well, I appreciate the call, my brother. You have a great night. And thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
John, I was close. What do you know? That was way off. That was
I've never heard that name before, Adelian. Have
Yeah.
you?
No, I can't think. I don't think I ever have.
Yeah.
You don't get a lot of foreign names in the South.
Right. Adelian's not a foreign name.
We were just waiting on calls now.
Well, we could be waiting on calls. I don't. Maybe we need. If you have other topics that you want to give people a chance to talk about.
No, I'm good.
Call from
Jim Satala.
To accept.
Oh no!
Send a voicemail,
No!
press 2.
No, hang up. Immediately hang up. No, hang up. Not Jim.
Jim.
No, you knew who it was. I was going to play a game and pretend I was someone else.
Yeah, it doesn't really work when you're in my caller ID.
Yeah.
So it just gives me that automatically. Yeah, you don't even get to say who you are when you call in.
Oh, wow.
What is Jim going to yell at me about?
Special.
I'm nothing but a good friend to
You
him.
guys hear about the shooting that happened tonight and another one?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
It
covered
sounded horrific.
Yeah, a guy got attacked by people with shovels and brooms and everything and had to shoot. And then you got still got the mayor of Minneapolis out there though trying to say it's ICE's fault and they need to leave. And it looked like the police chief might be had enough, and basically saying that he doesn't have enough police force to fight ICE in the streets.
But this is what we knew was going to happen. I mean, before Trump even came in, you knew that removing 20 million people, you were going to be hearing the left screaming and crying and protesting and acting like a bunch of lunatics. All of this was foreseeable, and frankly, I'll tell you right now, it's going to get much, much, much worse. If we're going to actually do anything to remedy 20 million illegals, it's going to get much worse, because you're going to need a lot more. There's going to be a lot more crying and remove a lot more folks who are far less objectionable than the heinous murderous criminals. But it's going to get much worse because people are not going to. Everyone wants the situation afterwards, but the question is how much fortitude Americans have to actually watch the process. When you see old women crying, that takes fortitude to say, this is what we have to do.
I'm hearing you say is we need to repeal the 19th Amendment.
Always. I mean, you should have done that. Should have never put it in place to begin with.
Oh, you broke up there. I didn't hear you say yes.
Oh, that was so Sin was sitting there saying that that's his girlfriend's gonna beat him if he ever makes a joke about that.
Why do you always sandbag me like that? They can watch the show. The chat knows that you're a liar.
He says, yeah. So I don't think his girlfriend's imaginary.
Well, actually, his girlfriend's name is a Dark Gift, and he just wears a fursuit.
I hate that both of my worlds are colliding right now. I hate both of my worlds are just careening into each other.
You'll have to check after the show. He's not happy that we're actually. He's not happy about this little merger that you and I are having right here and now.
I don't like it.
Are you? So you're not live now, Jim?
No, I ended my stream.
Okay. All right.
I started. I rated you. You didn't get the notification I rated you?
I sometimes get it. It doesn't pop into StreamYard, so
yeah,
I have to be looking at the chat at the right time to see it. It's easier in Rumble for me to see the raids because when I scroll up, so I'll quickly it sort of sticks out.
Yeah, I have moderators in Rumble, and they decide to raid other people all the time. I have no control over it.
Mm. I missed MFT.
Fine, I don't care.
I missed MFT saying, let's break this goal like my ex broke my will to live, fast and hard. I missed that all the way at the beginning. I don't know how I missed that.
All right, well, I'll let you go. I don't want to, eat up all the time. I'll have plenty of time.
Eat up all the time, Joe. Oh. Thank you. I mean, Jim, eat it all up. Go ahead. Jackass.
He's saying, don't go. Don't go. It's like stay there for. He wants you to stay on the phone. That there's more for us to talk about. I also missed another rant here from Uzelian. We said he hasn't ate fruit. We all know it's winter and Jews don't eat out of season because
Talking about
you
look like you have jaundice.
Hold on a second. That was like the coloring. Okay. What was that? What was that, Jim?
That you and Sin would be a great topic for you guys to break down would be the debacle between Anna Kasparian and Pearl Davis.
I didn't see
Anna
that.
Kasparian, I caught. Oh my God, Anna Kasparian destroyed her.
I never even heard of Curly Things.
Pearl Davis, Pearly Things.
Oh yeah,
she's like that. Yeah, she got basically she got made to look like a moron.
Really?
By Anna Kasparian. Oh yeah.
On what topic?
Just all everything basically. You name it. Everything on the right. Abortion, ICE raids, everything.
So you're saying it was a humiliation for the right how Anna Kasparian dismantled her?
Yes, major. Like we need to. This woman should not be allowed to
What's up, Caleb?
Claim that she represents us in any way.
Well, that's upsetting, but yeah, I haven't been very impressed with Pearly Things, whatever her name is. I haven't seen anything there which makes me see like, okay, this is someone I want to bank on. But the thing is, she rose up at a time when people were desperately trying to find a voice on the right, and particularly a female voice on the right. So I think she was trying to fill that niche. And sometimes I feel as if this might be a controversial thing to say, what I'm about to say. Okay. About various social media influencers.
That they might be grifters?
Not just grifters. What I'm saying is the only, when I think about the female social media influencers on the right,
okay,
the only one who I would say seems to have, from what I've seen so far, the best of them is probably the redheaded libertarian, Josie.
Yeah, she's good. Yeah, Josie's good. I mean, you saw too that what's her face, that Ashley St. Clair, that basically just wanted to get a a grift and get a kid with Elon Musk.
Yeah. She wanted her
changed
rocket
all her
babies.
positions.
She wanted her rocket babies.
Yeah. Now she changed positions, so she supports transing kids. So now Elon's suing to get full custody of their son.
Oh,
She was
really?
melting down over that
Oh, yeah.
that bikini trend on
Well,
Twitter. That was
talk about.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
You see, the funny thing is, and those you may not be aware, one of Elon's kids went trans and he lost it.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
so that's what brought Elon over to our side.
Yeah. So she like basically was if she is now embracing that position, that's her way of trying to lash at Elon. That means she's mad at Elon for something.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. She thought she was gonna keep, I don't know, be get a sugar daddy that was gonna take care of her forever.
Right.
But
Wow. So that doesn't find its way into my feed over there.
Well, because
you give me all the dry stuff. You give me all the dry stuff.
I don't know.
If
I was going to send it, but then I thought about it. I was like, is it really?
If there's warring on the right and stuff like that, that's definitely good fodder.
Okay.
That's good fodder. That's stuff I need to get. Am I going to have you on tomorrow?
Yeah, if you want. What time?
10.
10? All right. Yeah, sounds good. I'll be on.
All right. Awesome.
All right.
Great. Thank you, brother.
Right.
I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, take care. See you. Bye, everybody.
see you, Jim. Hate that guy. Can't stand him. Nothing for him.
It's
Terrible
not TN
broadcast.
I don't know. Tell me someone on the right a woman on the right who you're like, yeah, that's someone that like you can bank on.
Call from
Brian.
to accept.
Now the phone lines are lighting up. So, Brian.
Hey. Well, you said the last time we talked you wanted to hear from me throughout
there
the
you go.
year to see how things progressed. So
Oh, I remember you. Now I remember. I'm glad you said that. Now I remember that. How you been, Brian?
Well, you know, I'm having a little bit of health things. I got a cyst on my hyoid bone, so I tend to clear my throat a lot.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I can relate to that. I have a chronic cough. So
it's not fun.
Yeah. I'm sorry about that. I'm going to ask you before I don't know if did you have a particular thing that you wanted to get to?
Well, I want to keep with the theme, so I got to talk to Sin first.
Okay.
Okay.
I got a question that the whole world wants to know.
Okay.
What's that? All right.
If your parents divorce, is he still your uncle?
Nice.
Technically, yes.
Now,
You don't.
I had somebody point out there's more laws about marrying your relatives in Alabama than there are in all of New England. And I point out you don't make a law for something that's not a problem.
Right. That's exactly right. Like there's no law that makes it a crime to cut off your own fingers because somehow it hasn't been an issue.
And I did want to excuse me. I did want to apologize for accidentally setting your chat on fire yesterday.
How so? What'd you do?
With the Scott Adams letter.
Oh, what did you say? Something that pissed people off?
Yeah.
Wait, what did you say?
The Pascal.
Oh,
wager?
the Pascal wager thing.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. When I saw you type that, I actually Googled the term Pascal's wager, and I was like, oh, okay, fine. It's a reference to that perspective. Yesterday, if you missed yesterday's show, shame on you, first and foremost.
sin. And but when we're talking about Scott Adams and reading his letter, where he basically engaged in what the term for it is Pascal's wager, where he said basically it's since the percentages say that it's better to accept religion than to just reject it. It's just it's safer, better bet. So with that, here goes. And he wrote a whole thing about how he accepts Jesus. And so that notion, that concept is called Pascal's wager. I was unfamiliar with it being called Pascal's wager, but when I saw that, so it started a whole conversation about Jewish perspective as to like whether that does anything, because folks in the chat said it does nothing. Since we have our resident Catholic in the booth here, I'll ask you, Sin. Does it do anything? Sin?
Nope. Sorry, dude. My headphone was cutting out. Say it again.
Oh, my question was, if someone says that, you know, because it's a safer bet to bet on you know, God being real or Jesus being real, so they're going to do what Scott Adams did. Does that accomplish anything at all? Or does it do nothing?
Yeah, no, I think it's better to hedge your bets, honestly.
So you think it's better? You think it does do something?
Yeah, I really do, because we've had this conversation before, and like the goal.
Every time I say something to you, you say we've had this conversation before, and I never remember having that conversation with you.
Like 2 months ago, where somebody in the chat, I think, or on a call, had asked me something similar, and I think the baseline of Christianity is to live a happy and healthy lifestyle. And if you just live that way, I think it's better for you than, you know, the degeneracy of, you know, just not having that. That's the bare minimum of it. Like the goal from what I see reading the Bible, the goal is to have a happy life. And not that you're not going to have struggles or anything like that. But
if someone is like on their deathbed and they're like, they say, I don't really believe it, but I'll say the words just so that I can, like, you know, punch my ticket. Do you think that does anything?
I just think it's better to hedge your bets, man. And eventually I think you will believe in it. I do. I mean, bare minimum.
All right.
I want to point out that I wasn't questioning him being a good man. And I wasn't questioning his faith. I was just questioning his statement of faith being genuine, if that makes sense.
Right, because as I just expressed now, if someone says they don't really believe it, but here are the words just for the purposes of punching a ticket. So does that actually punch a ticket? Does it actually work to punch the ticket?
No, it doesn't work to punch the ticket, but at least bare minimum, you're gonna.
God will look in your heart and see what you believe, regardless of what you tell people.
Yeah, I agree that empty words don't do anything, and no one knows what's in his heart. You know, whatever he wrote there.
Yeah, no, empty words don't mean anything. I do believe that.
I would like to point out to the chat. You can call me all the names you want. You're not going to bother me. I've been called worse by better.
Well, I don't think that you shouldn't let it, you know, bother you and affect you personally. I mean, people are gonna, they're gonna get, you know, take umbrage, especially when a topic of religion is going to come up, and or attacking someone. You basically fell into the sweet spot of it's a topic about religion and it's related to someone who many of them consider a hero, who you deem to be attacking. So they're going to be very sensitive about protecting his legacy.
Yeah.
So just appreciate for what it is.
Somebody brought up a good point about the thief.
Hold on
on
one
the
second,
cross.
Brian. Sin's interrupting again. What was that?
Somebody brought up a good point. The thief on the cross.
The thief on the cross?
Yeah. The
I don't know what that is.
Accepted Christ.
I know you can't hear him. He said someone brought up a point about the thief on the cross, which is a reference I'm not familiar with. So he's explained to me what that is.
Yeah. So he was hung on a cross in between two criminals, and one of them rejected him and one of them believed him. And he said, "Surely you will dine with me in heaven today." So,
Okay.
Yeah, the thief on the cross,
you have to be repentant. Yeah.
He looked at Jesus and accepted him as his Savior, then there, honestly, and with his heart.
Right. So you're saying it wasn't mere, and that's what people in the chat are saying also. You're saying there was an actual repentance that was happening there as opposed to just being lip service.
Right.
Right. Okay. And I think everyone probably, I assume most Christian theology, I never heard of the guy, this incident until it just came up now. But I would imagine that's probably something that most Christian theologians would agree on. So, all right, my brother. I want to ask you one question before you go, though, Brian.
Yep.
Are you able to name a solid influencer from the right who's female?
A solid influencer from the right who's female. I hate it, but Tim Pool came to mind. That's not. No.
Tim Pool can't have babies.
Yeah, I really can't. I've never liked Candace Owens. I've always been real wishy on Megyn Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the only two that I know of.
Yeah.
I don't sit and obsess over politics like a lot of people.
Right. No, I hear you. Okay, cool. Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you, brother. I appreciate the call. Great hearing from you as always.
Yep. Take care.
Have a good night, my friend. Yeah, what were you saying?
I wasn't making another comment. I was just listening.
Can you name a solid female?
What do you mean a solid female? And in which terms? Like in which way are we talking about?
Someone that's a fair follow-up question.
Mm-hmm. You can't just say a solid female and then go, all right, answer, go.
An influencer from the right, who's a woman, who, if they said something that disappointed you, you would be surprised.
No, I can't. Not one.
All right.
Yeah, I really can't.
Yeah.
Like off the top of my head, most of the ones that I did,
there's few enough men.
Yeah, well, most of the women on the right that are influencers that I did have some sort of hope in. They pretty much fell short one way or the other.
Call from
A little about
Timmy Hunt. To accept, press 1. To send.
Kimmy.
Hey, hi Joe, hi Cyn.
How you been?
I've been okay. I'm a little tired. I've got a new puppy running around the house.
Oh, that's awesome. Sophie?
No, her name is Gidget.
Oh, you went with Gidget. Okay.
I went with Gidget.
Cool. All
So
right.
I've got a 10-year-old dog who keeps giving me really dirty looks.
Yeah, like you're cheating on him.
Oh, well, no, it's like, why is this little thing here? Get rid of it. I want to sleep. But anyway, can you tell what state I'm from with my accent?
Virginia.
I sound like I'm from Virginia.
She's Southern for sure.
If I had an accent.
I had to guess.
I'm thinking Georgia.
He's thinking Georgia, he's saying.
Really?
I came Virginia. That's much less Southern.
I'm Ohio.
Nice.
She's got a Southern twang in there, though.
I'm Midwest as it comes.
Yeah, she is as Midwest as they come. It is.
Yeah, I'm Ohio.
All right.
And as far as Scott Adams, I just want to say this really quickly, and I don't want to delve into it too deeply. That's between him and God. Only he and God know if he's in heaven. And he confessed with his mouth But the Bible says you must confess with your mouth and believe in your heart, and you will be saved. So we don't know if he believed in his heart. Only he knows that, and God knows that. So there's no reason to argue about it.
Richard Parker's asking about Hitler. Would he be welcome if saved?
Yes.
Yeah, if he confessed
100%.
on his deathbed and believed in his heart, yes. We're
Okay.
all sinners. We're all born sinners. We you know, and that's just the way it is. We're corrupted. Humans are corrupted. All of us are, and we have to do the best we can through the life. We can go either way. But yes, I think so. But I'm not going to get too philosophical or religious at this point in the evening. But a female right-wing influencer,
Give me one.
Libby Emmons from Post Millennial.
Oh, that's not bad.
She's on Tim Pool a lot. She goes on with Jack Posobiec a lot.
Not bad.
She's been on with TPUSA. She's very intelligent, very level-headed.
Libby Evans.
I really like Libby. Yeah, I follow her on X.
Oh,
And
that's not bad.
She's the editor of the Post Millennial.
Now that you're saying that, I could probably think of a few more. Now that you mentioned Libby Emmons, I could probably think of a few more.
Okay.
But I'll let other people weigh in because I don't want to take them away from people.
Sure.
So thank you,
Sure.
Kimmy. Great job.
All right.
All right. Have a
You
good night.
Take care, and I'll talk to you later. You too. Bye-bye.
Take care. All right. I missed this chat over here also. It just came in. This has been a problem going back a while. Even Ariana Huffington got started as the based foreign girl. I think the anemic girl on Tim Pool's show and Denise McAllister, but Shapiro burned her.
Yeah.
Call from.
DeLeon again.
To accept, press 1.
Delian, what's going on?
If I mute, it's because I'm coughing, but that's just, I wanted to touch on a couple things.
Okay.
Female influencer.
Yes.
So there's a woman on YouTube, Far From Eden, as in the Garden of Eden.
Right.
She's part of the manosphere. She does a bunch of literary archaeology going back to where, so she does like 1950s, looking at where dating culture came from and how that has destroyed so much of the responsibilities for men and women and really messed up courtship as a concept, as well as looking into the fairy tales and basically breaking into women's psychology and what the past can tell us about what things should be. On top of that, moving on to Scott, I would say that I believe him. Doubt is something that we suffer and face all of our lives. And when you're that close to death and you don't know what to expect, it is pretty obvious that you would be very afraid. Death is the scariest thing you can face if you're not a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
And it's scary to many Christians as well.
Mm-hmm.
So what I would say there is, as long as he believed in his heart, certainly.
Mm-hmm.
It just comes down to, I think his fear might have been showing more than his repentance.
Right.
But I don't blame him for that.
There's a similar concept that Judaism has, where a person who self-deletes is not allowed to. We believe doesn't go, cannot go to heaven. So, but so they shouldn't be buried in a Jewish cemetery because of that. But we still always bury them in a Jewish cemetery. And the reason is because there's an assumption that the instant after they took that last step of self-deletion that they felt regret. We baked that assumption in, which, you could see if someone jumps off a building or ODs or slits their wrist, maybe you could see that. It's harder to see that with someone who puts a bullet in their mouth, someone puts a gun in their mouth. But but that's how instantaneous it is, that even pulling the trigger until it actually happens, that during that instant that we assume that there's some level of regret that they have. So,
yeah, in that circumstance, yes, I would be like, okay, sure. Because it does.
It's giving them the benefit.
It's
giving them the benefit of the doubt, and as you're saying, because So, anyhow, thank you, brother. Appreciate that you called back.
Also on Hitler.
Yeah.
We don't have to like it, but also we are not the final judge. God is the final.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I'll tell you right now, Hitler's burning in hell. And and respectfully, I don't care what he said on his deathbed, or right before he took his cyanide pills. I don't care what scripture he read or whatever it is. I'm telling you right now, that guy's burning in hell.
Well, I fully agree with you, but I'm just saying, if he had, then we don't have to like it. He would have gone to heaven. We just can be very happy that he didn't.
That's an area where there's significant divergence between Christianity and Judaism. Judaism doesn't have anything like that. But that's okay. I mean, there are going to be places where there's going to be divergence, and this is certainly one of them. So I appreciate the call, my brother.
Did I miss any questions?
No, you got them all. I think did he miss anything?
No, he nailed it. He got everything.
Sin is saying that you did as well as we can expect. So
why do you always got to sandbag me?
I think he took offense at something you said earlier, because I think I say you nailed it.
I didn't take offense to anything. I think you did great.
I'm just playing with you, by the way. I was sort of poking at him because he's the one who has said you nailed it. So
yeah, I think I took offense to you saying that about Hitler, man.
Good night, my brother.
I feel like you're holding a grudge for something.
I have no idea what that could possibly.
I don't know anything.
I'm holding 6 million. I'm holding 6 million grudges. Along with repentance, forgiveness is very important. Try not to leave this world with grudges against others. I think that's a healthy thing in general. I think that's a healthy perspective for life. Is as far as having a healthy life, it just ends up eating at you when you're holding on to a grudge. So, yeah. I'm gonna take one more call before I get on out of here. I see there's a bunch of people who are trying to call in, but I'm starting to feel fatigue.
Dude, I'm very exhausted right now.
Call from.
Hi, my name's Eddie.
Eddie!
Yes, sir.
You have the privilege of being the last call of the night.
No shit. Hey, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, the phone lines really been lighting up ever since we started talking about the religion and the female.
Oh man,
the female podcaster. People are starting to just line up now. But I'm really feeling. I haven't eaten anything all day. Also, so
I actually had a 2-street question on. One of them was a little bit of a religion thing about Jerusalem, just because you talked about it one time.
No, go for it. Do you have first and foremost? Let's get this out. Let's just clear this bullet from the chamber. Just unload on Sin on anything that's bothering you about him.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Oh, Sin. Oh, hey, Sin, man. Let's start with this, man. You got to work on your street name, man. Sin, like if you're walking.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, mm-hmm. Yeah. Good point. That's a great point right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well done. I don't hear you anymore, though.
Yeah, he didn't. He disappeared.
That's all I have to say about that. I don't know.
You literally Forrest Gumped us there. You totally Forrest Gumped us. Where you're like, let me tell you what I got to say about Sin. That's all I have to say about that.
You got to have a street name, Sin.
Yeah.
Sin,
street name.
Let's work on your name, man. Like I'm never gonna call Joe Joe. To me, it's Mr. Logic.
There you go.
Mr. Logic coming
No, you cut out again.
Shut
That's,
up.
I think it's a sign from
Thank
God.
you.
I think my street name
Well,
is perfectly
thank you, Eddie.
fine.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Cindy is perfect name for you. So
You asked.
So what else on your mind, brother?
Well, you asked, should I start with the religious part? This is
Whatever.
a quick one, actually.
It's your call. It's your dime. So you tell me.
Okay. Well, I'm not Jewish, but I do a lot of research. I started doing a lot of research. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed.
Mm-hmm.
But when I went to Jerusalem, I just, oh, wow, the energy over there is just incredible. And one of the things that I noticed is that the people that were taking me to a tour, and eventually I started going out by myself, is that, and correct me if I'm wrong, that the Golden Gate is blocked off because once upon a time the Muslims closed it up because they didn't want the Jews to fulfill their destiny for the Messiah to cross through. Does that make sense in any way?
I'm not familiar with that part of the history.
Okay, well maybe I should shut up then.
No, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying I don't. It sounds like the sort of things that could happen. I'm just saying I'm unfamiliar with it. Anything that happened, basically, okay. As far as my knowledge of Jewish history, you ask me anything about the Jews wandering in the desert, I can give you rabbinical perspective on it, and probably multitude of rabbinical perspective on anything that happened during that 40-year period. Okay, I'm really solid there because I've gone through those 5 books of Moses dozens of times now. So and like in detail with different textual interpretations where this person, this rabbi, all these rabbis lived 1,000 years ago or more, but or well, I should say hundreds of years ago or more, but where there's this interpretation of what the passage means versus that, and understanding, and so that I'm really rock solid. When you come to the age of the prophets, which is basically from the time of Joshua on all the way, let's say, through the second destruction of the temple. So during the first, we go from Joshua through David. I'm like pretty okay. I'm better than most people you're going to meet, but not like nearly. I would say my knowledge is about like 20% what it is in the others in the 5 books of Moses. And when you get down, and when it comes to things related to holidays, so like the story of the Maccabees or Esther with Purim, so that stuff I know a lot about. But if you start talking about any Jewish history that happens over the last 2,000 years, my knowledge there drops very sharply and very quickly, where it's like,
Oh, okay.
So that's why
that makes sense.
Yeah. So
that makes sense in I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
That makes sense in that there's different opinions in how the history plays itself out.
Right.
This is just the tour guide was just breaking it down for me, but who knows who this tour guide comes from and what he believes.
Mm-hmm.
He was just breaking it down for us. We were close to the Golden Gate, and he said the reason why it's blocked off is because in prophecy, the walls are blocked off because once the Muslims conquered Jerusalem, they deliberately blocked off the gate so that the prophecy does not be fulfilled, in that the Messiah is not going to cross through.
Mm-hmm.
And in addition to that, they also added cemeteries right in front of the gate. After they closed off the gate, they added cemeteries in front of the gate because they know that the rabbis do not want to get any remotely close to corpses, for lack of a better word.
Right.
And so that's how he broke it down to it. And so I was just wondering, like,
it's interesting. It's interesting you're saying that, because I'll tell you this much. I was in not my regular synagogue this past week, because since my wife's out of town, so I went to stay by my my daughters in Queens and their families, and I ended up going to this yeshiva where they had prayer services there, and the rabbi who was overseeing it was actually my teacher from 11th grade, and he said over something where he was talking about there's a phrase in Hebrew which is be'etzem hayom, which translates literally as in the middle of the day. And he brought down that there are 3 times that the Torah uses that phrase in the middle of the day. Those 3 times, first time comes up with Noah, that says that the rain came down in the middle of the day. The reason for that is that basically the people in the time of Noah, when they saw him building that ark, they said, if God ever tries to drown the world, we'll destroy the ark. And we'll stop Noah from being able to going up into the ark, and that way he won't be able to do it. So God purposefully started the torrential rains in the middle of the day. And actually, rabbinic authority talks about different ways that God structured to basically keep the people from being able to do anything to touch the ark. And it was pretty much a flex that God is like, you think you're going to control what's going to happen? And that if I say something's going to happen, you're going to control what's happening. It's not going to happen. It's not going to be sneaking off. It's going to be in the middle of the day that this thing's going to happen, and you're going to be powerless to stop it. Similarly, the second time it comes up is when it talks about the Jews leaving Egypt, during the redemption, that happened in the middle of the day, and that was that a similar type of thing. The Egyptians had said that the Jews will never be able to leave. We're not going to let them, no matter what happens. We'll kill them if we have to, but we're not going to let them leave. And that God basically said, you have your plans as to what's going to happen. We'll see. I have my plans. We'll see whose plans are going to work, and they're going to walk out in the middle of the day, and you're going to be powerless to stop it. And the third time, and this is the reason he brought it up. The third time that it says it is with the death of Moses. And the reason he brought this whole thing up was because he said that the Jews at the time of Moses passing, when they all knew that his days were coming to an end, he told them he told them, I'm going to be dying on this day, and it's going to happen and whatever. And they didn't want to let him go, and they said, no, we're going to stop God from killing you. So that's why God's like, no, you're not going to stop him. You're not going to stop me from taking him at his point of time. And that's why it says that he died in the middle of the day. But the reason he brought this up was to basically make the point. You can understand what the people in the time of Noah or the Egyptians were thinking, but how would you stop God from killing someone? That sounds crazy. That doesn't sound like it's any lot. Like, what, God gives him a stroke. What are you going to do? It's like, how are you stopping God from taking someone's life? And his answer to that was they had such confidence in the power of their prayers and their connection to God that they were like, no, we'll prevail upon God so much that he will not be able to kill you, which is just an astonishing statement about their level of their belief and understanding of their own powers of prayer. But the reason I brought this up for you was to point out to you that happens a lot, that people say, oh, if this is where Messiah is supposed to come, so we'll stop it. And it's like, I almost feel as if God almost orchestrates and plants that seed in people's minds specifically so that mankind can appreciate the power of God, that it's like, no matter what your plans are, that ultimately God's will is going to prevail.
Yeah,
so,
he came at us hard, and I'm like, I had questions, but I'm not going to throw them out at his face. But like one of them being, is it the Olive Mount where all the graveyards are at?
The Mount Olives. There's a lot of
So he said, in addition to Jesus crossing, the Messiah, the Messiah crossing, going through the Golden Gate, and he fulfills the prophecy that everybody that's in that place, like they will all be resurrected. They will all, and that's the reason why they're all it's high real estate for a place to be buried, because they will all come back to life.
Right. We do believe we are. That's actually one of the 13 core beliefs of Judaism, is that we believe in resurrection. That resurrection will happen in the Messianic era.
Sure. And I believe that too, in my humble self.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to put together, is he mixing truth with false kind of thing?
So I don't know about someone saying that they're going to stop. I don't know. That's the part of the story that I don't know anything about. All I can share with you is, and so I don't know. And here's another thing: is Ezekiel, which is one of the prophets that we recognize. He's often quoted whenever Christians are talking about messianic times. It's not an area that I have great knowledge about. So people will quote Ezekiel 53 or whatever, and they'll quote passages that I don't think I've ever even read in my life. So when there's a lot of talk about what's going to happen in Messianic times, most Orthodox Jews do not spend a lot of time focusing about what's supposed to happen during the Messianic era. Instead, we're just supposed to pray for his arrival, assume that everything will be far better in the world at that time for everyone, not just Jews, but for everyone during a Messianic era, and not fixate is this a sign the Messiah coming, or is that whatever, but just sort of trusting God in that sense.
Yep, 100%. Before I change gears on the subject entirely, the last thing that he said was that caught my interest was that he wanted us to be very interested in Kabbalah. And by the way, this was like quite a number of years ago.
Who said this? Yeah. Who are you talking about
now? My guide.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
I did before he even said that. I was like, I had already done my own research, and I understand that a lot of the stuff that he said behind Kabbalah is inside the Torah. I understand that, and I'm flabbergasted because a lot of stuff that they say is really amazing. Because I guess it's just because it makes sense in many, many different ways. For one, conduct yourself and be nice and be a good person to yourself and to everybody else, and don't ask for anything in return after you do something good for somebody else.
Right.
And that's what, and so I'm thinking about that. And because the entire, and this is not him talking, this is me talking about it after my research. He just told me to research it. And I'm thinking, in reading random books, and I'm trying to stay away from the books from Los Angeles books, Kabbalah books.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to be gaining much from that, from Los Angeles books and Kabbalah.
I'm trying to focus on books straight out of Jerusalem from the hardcore.
Okay. When it comes to the topic of Kabbalah, okay, the two most profound thinkers and when it comes to what we call Kabbalah, but technically in Hebrew it's Kabbalah, is the word Kabbalah means acceptance. That's technically what the definition is. They were the Arizal and Rabbi Yehuda Low, who we call Maharal MiPrague, or the Maharal, and they are the ones who basically bring it down and explain it. And as much of the Torah as I've studied, I have never opened anything related to Kabbalah. And in fact, anyone who does study it, it's like a private study thing. So you're not supposed to do it till you get much older. And even like the most,
I heard it's dangerous too.
Yeah, that's actually one of the things that they say, that is dangerous to do it beforehand, unless you're advanced and mature in your understanding of things. And that's why when I hear about people like Madonna or other people from Los Angeles, talking, I'm like, this is not real. This is not real Kabbalah. That's not real Kabbalah. It's a watered down, twisted type of version that I don't is probably. I think it's trading on the name value of Kabbalah rather than actually teaching people Kabbalah.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? In other words, if I tell people, oh, this is ancient Jewish mysticism, so I can sell a heck of a lot more books than if it's something I just came up with myself. That's what I assume it is. But so when I hear Madonna studying Kabbalah, I just start laughing because I'm like, I'm so far away from being able to study Kabbalah. This chick who knows nothing about Torah, there's no way she would understand anything. So you would need to spend years and years and years studying to actually really digest any of it. And it wouldn't even be in English. It's just everything about it. I'm just like, it's like someone telling me that they have a deep understanding as to what life was like for someone living under the Ottoman Empire. It's like, you don't have any sort of understanding. You can never experience that. You have no idea what that was like. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you don't have any sort of understanding, and someone who's closer in culture and relationship to it couldn't understand it. You, who have never set foot in the Middle East, there's no way you could possibly fathom what it's like to be in that environment. Right. So that's why that's what it feels like when Madonna says that. I'm like, yeah, okay, fine. All right.
I knew I was on the right track, man.
There you go. What do you got on the women?
On the women?
Yeah, you have a woman. You have a truly based female podcaster.
Female podcaster.
Oh, anyone. Yeah, no,
me. Sorry.
No, I am asking you. Because one of the side topics we had here is we were speculating as to whether any women out there who are reliably based. So
You got the wrong person on that one.
All right, cool. All right. Anything else?
Yeah, it was on Greenland. I don't know.
Greenland.
I said I had a 2-street.
All right, what do you got? What do you got in Greenland? Let's make it quick.
Yeah, so real quick. No, the Greenland part. The Greenland part is you probably already talked about this in your channel, and I just wanted to see if you wanted to break it down a little bit more. What I'm hearing is that random countries from the east coming in, and they're making their way over. This is the fast one, brother. Like you got Norway, you got Germany, you got France, and they're making their way over to Greenland. And we already have a
base.
We already have the U.S. already has a base over there. What the fuck are they gonna do? Like they're gonna go over there and just park it and just like do an amphibious landing or some shit? We're gonna go shake hands and land on the American base. How's that work?
I don't think any of these countries want to start up militarily with America. I don't think as a group or individually any of these countries want to mess with America. I don't think that's going to happen. I'll tell you what the leader of Denmark should have done if she was smarter. When Trump said, "I want Greenland, I want Greenland, I want Greenland," I was thinking about this today. The best response would have been say nothing. If you say nothing, now Trump has to actually take a step. Is he going to invade Greenland? I don't think so. So he almost baited her out into starting to have the conversation. So she's already working on his terms. The more effective way, if she really wanted to retain Greenland, would have been to say absolutely nothing. He can talk on and on about how he's going to take Greenland, but that doesn't mean he's going to invade Greenland without, when everyone knows it's Danish territory. So she was foolish, I think, in saying no, because even by saying no, you're already on his. You're already accepting that there's a conversation to be had here, and that you're rejecting him. So now, even the more powerful thing, the more manipulative, the Machiavellian approach is to just say nothing. It's like, okay, you want Greenland.
Do you think that they're running operations right now?
I have no idea.
Not there?
I have no idea. I'll tell you this much: I think Trump's going to get Greenland. I think he wants it. I think he's going to get it. I think he's going to pay. I think he's going to pay for it. He's looking to haggle over the price.
That's going to be the last deal. I want to hear you say that, brother.
Yeah, but that's what I envision happening with Greenland. I think we're going to end up buying it from them as a territory. And he's going to, and whether it's going to be outright ownership or a lease or some sort of possessive type of thing, but Trump's going to try. Trump is the best person to have negotiating that deal for us. So, but that's what I think.
Cool. That's all I have.
All right. Thank you, my brother. Great call.
Thanks, bro.
Thank you so much. CYN. I hope I didn't piss you off. You didn't say any moves.
No, he actually seemed to like you. You were the one he liked.
Yeah.
So there you go. Have a good night, my friend.
Take care.
Get it.
I did say I would share with you one person who I think is I was going to give you at least one woman who's based.
Uh-huh.
So first of all, Libs of TikTok is pretty good.
Libs
of TikTok.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not saying I would bank on her.
Yeah, but you feel like you have to give one, and that's okay.
No, I'll give you one who I actually really believe. I really believe in. I think I'm like, this is someone I think I would trust. That's this woman right here, Margot Cleveland. She is great as far as breaking down all the different leftist tactics.
All right. Well, that's a good one.
And she's an attorney. She's very smart, and she's basically she explains like why it is that all these legal arguments that the leftists are presenting are weak. She's a great follow. I highly recommend her. So she's really, really good. And there was one other. I didn't mean to do that to you. Sorry. There was one other woman that I had. I just don't remember her name because that's how influential she is. Someone asked about Kylie.
She's so influential and you don't even know her name. Land the plane, Joe. What are you doing?
That was the joke.
Okay. She's so great.
Do I need to have you explain the joke? Should I walk you through? So then I say she's so influential. All right. It is time to land the plane. I think we're both starting to feel it.
Yeah.
So, and Data Republican, I think, is pretty good. Someone brought up Data Republican.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you that what we've seen from Data Republican has been great. She's just been around for like 10 minutes, though. Like, no one heard of this woman 2 years ago.
You never know. And then they're going to do a deep dive on her and some crazy thing will be found. You never know.
But she's been great as far as what she's been doing, her digging and some of the research she does. She's been great. But, she's not a podcaster.
Yeah.
So, and you're saying she's not a podcaster or a female streamer. I'm just talking about some influencer from the. I agree with you, He's Dead, Jim, that even Margot is a little bit of a stretch because it's not someone who's engaging the public in that sort of way. She's almost like a news outlet, the way in covering legal law news. So it's sort of true what you're saying. It's a fair response. I don't know. I got no one else. I certainly don't. I don't trust Laura Loomer.
No, not at all.
Laura Southern. No, I don't trust any of these people. Millie?
Nope.
No.
There will
anyway. I don't know. Anyway, I thank you all for joining me. Sin, why don't you tell people where they can find you? And he is in the description. It is in the description.
Find me at F.F.S podcast every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. We cover current events, a lot of pop culture stuff, and the indie comic scene, and have a lot of laughs over there. It's a lot of fun. So come check us out, everybody. I'd appreciate it.
Cool. All right. Thank you for joining me. Great job as always. And yeah, Lab Meat never was meant for you. It's meant for Dr. Verma and all those other they, thems, theirs. Folks, not meant for you. Are you a they? No. So neither. So that it's meant for them. It's not meant for you. No Lab Meat. And do not eat the bugs. Don't do it. Don't touch it. Don't think about it. Stay away. Good night, everyone. And as always, Godspeed.
Bye.